Buddy, how are you all doing? Hello, Rocket. Calling me a goober. And yeah, a creepy Halloween stream would be a nice idea. But yeah, how is everybody doing? Are we ready? Are we ready to go back to Zero Escape? I am a fool and didn't even open Steam yet. But how is everybody doing? Let's see, where is this silly little game? There we go. And I think we're close to the true end. I'm not 100% sure. Because I think there's a few rooms that we have to go through a second time, but I'm not sure. Doing good, that's good. I see, let me make sure everything is set up, because I had to kind of mess with it for the stream the other day, the art stream. There we go. Just... Hello, Peach! How you doing? How you doing today? I missed you too! I miss you. I keep being like, man, I want to go over to Peach's house. I want to go shopping more. See, just a little case of food poisoning, don't worry, it's almost out of my system. Oh no! I mean, at least it's good that it's mostly out of your system. Okay, Missy. Okay. Oh right, we were in a new puzzle room. darn past me being like, here, you can deal with the puzzles. Okay, at least it's just the start. So this is the locking thing. It's flashing red. That's usually not a good sign. Is that a microphone? It looks like a satellite dish. Let me see. Snake, you're blind. Something about the trope of having blind characters saying, like, let me see. Well, judging by the feel of it, I would guess that we are meant to produce some sort of sound. Hosted you? Thank you for the host! I don't know why my thing, like, stopped alerting about hosts. Like, I checked the thing and it was like, it's set up, but I don't know. It's being a butt. Also, hello, Bailey! Didn't get a notif, but I remembered at the time. Yay! Also, hello, Lisa! Man, the gang's all here today! This device will sense it and unlock. Okay, so that's something to deal with later. Oh no. Wait. Those are all the same note. Those are all A notes. Right, it's poppin'. It took Junpei by surprise. Snake, usually so calm and collected, suddenly began to move. He stared around the room, almost frantically, clearly looking for something. No, Junpei thought, not staring. After all, he's blind. Blind or not, Snake was clearly attempting to do something. At last, Junpei could no longer contain his curiosity.
What's wrong? You got weird all of a sudden.
Snake waited a moment before answering.
I heard something strange.
Something strange?
Ah, well, never mind. It doesn't seem to be anything suspicious. I don't wish to toot my own horn, but my auditory senses are considerably more advanced than those of most humans.
That makes sense. Usually when you lose a sense, your other senses get heightened.
I notice even the slightest of noises.
Right. Are you gonna tell me you can hear a needle drop from a mile away?
No, such a thing would be impossible. However, by listening to the sound of footsteps and breathing, as well as sound echoing off the environment, I can locate most objects.
Oh yeah, that's right. When Clover fell on the big staircase a little while ago, you were at her side immediately.
Hello, Crimson. How you doing? You're here earlier than you have been the last few times.
So that was...
Yes, I could hear it happening. In fact, I can run quite fast. Certainly as fast as you. And should someone attempt to start a fight with me, I am quite confident that I could defeat them.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
The recording for really sounded really weird. I'm doing great. How about you? Yeah, I'm doing good too. Junpei was somewhat taken aback by this revelation. He stared at Snake, skeptical.
You don't believe me, do you? Care to give it a try?
Junpei just like punches him in the stomach and he's just like, ow, you didn't warn me.
I must warn you, you'll no doubt regret it. Well, I suppose that's enough playing around. Let's resume our search, shall we?
Before we fight with Snake. With a small, self-satisfied smile, Snake turned and walked away from Junpei. A white desk. Feels kinda fancy. Yeah, with a little rose and decals. It's a small round chair. Looks like it probably goes with the vanity. I mean, I wouldn't say they match, but oh well. Oh gosh, there's so many rooms in this one. The lights, huh? Nope. Doesn't look like there's anything hidden in there. I can't smell having heightened hearing and sight is annoying, especially when I get a sensory overload. Yeah, oh yeah. I can imagine it would get really easy to get a sensory overload at that point with heightened senses. Especially in like loud areas. The bathtub is full of water. Is there ash or something in this water? It looks kinda gray. Let's just pull the plug. No, hold on. Maybe we can, I don't know, use it for something? Use it for something? I mean, I doubt we put the music sheet in there.
Testing, testing. Hey, it's great to see you all here. I just flew in from New York and boy, are my arms tired. Yes, thank you. I'll be here all week. Try the veal. That's not a mic 7. That's just a shower head.
What? What the hell?
And there we are in the mirror. What a pair. A college kid and a terrifying giant man in a beanie. Stuck in a cramped bathroom with this beast of a man. What would my parents say? Who? Something wrong, Junpei? You looked real sad all of a sudden. Oh, no, nothing. Well, the sink's clean. Any water? Nothing's coming out. We've got the faucet on all the way, but I can't hear anything.
I'm to stream next week. I'm excited to have a week of play. Yes! You'll have to tell me when so that way I can keep an eye out. Because I think once you do this next stream, you'll be an affiliate. I think. I could be wrong, but I think. And I will throw my money at you. Get those emotes ready.
Some sort of antique desk. Makes sense though, I guess. This whole room's full of antiques. You could get a nice handful of cash for all the stuff in here. It's confirmed 7 takes baths, not showers. Yeah. Cause yeah, it wasn't like a weird shower head or anything. I don't think so, since I haven't been able to keep streaming for a while, lost all my progress, so I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Cause I feel, I don't know, it might be different, but I remember when I was doing the affiliate thing, it was counting like my very first stream from like a year ago in the progress, but I don't know.
Yeah, you at least got the 50 followers, so you got the hardest part through.
I think I just need to regain the hours and whatnot, yeah. It's a heavy piece of paper that's been folded in half. It has score written in the piece in front of it. Score, that's gotta mean musical score. If that's true, then the score we just found was probably in here. At least at some point. So we can't combine it, okay. There's a cover for a musical score sitting on the table. It's a chair. A chair, huh? That chair looks nice. Mind if I take a load off? I think you'd be doing the opposite. That chair does look pretty comfortable. Hey Junpei, where are you going? Didn't we come out of that door? No point in going back in there. All that's out there is a locked numbered door and a dead body. Or what's left of it. Yeah. Yes, you have subs waiting for you. Oh, there's music in the fire. Def get you a concurrent viewer's goal, yeah. There's an iron grate in front of the fireplace. There's something behind it. Just reach out with my bare hand. This couch looks just big enough for 3 people. Looks perfect for me. What? Perfect for an elegant gentleman like myself. The couch looks a lot more elegant. Hey, there's something you ain't saying. Never mind. Oh no. Let's see. Okay, that was the bathroom. A toilet! I was gonna say it again. Alt design is...
Yeah, the alt design is really cute. also,
I don't wanna share any secret that you might want to keep, but like that one alt model idea that we were talking about when I was visiting, I'm excited to see if you end up going through with that one.
The like specific, very pink idea. That is all I will say.
There's some toilet paper on the wall there. Nothing that looks suspicious. It's a toilet. Doesn't seem to be anything in the toilet or the tank.
Well then why did we come in here? Why are we in the toilet in the bathroom?
What's this? This isn't a score. Is this a map of the ship? A map? There's a map of the ship in here? Yeah. Then I imagine it will prove very useful. You'd best hold on to it, Junpei. Okay.
It's something that will help us later.
It is not possible to use the map screen. Let's see. I'm thinking about it. Just need to find a design I want while I'm not having imposter syndrome, yeah. Because I am redesigning again, I think. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, hopefully the imposter syndrome fades away soon enough. I know I struggle doing that sometimes too. And if you need any advice, I will do my best to help.
I better start talking to her. I'll tell my sword story from 2019. Oh no. that is your escape vibes. You just look at a sword and it's just like, there's a specific sword that was on the boat of Gigantic. A piano keyboard. What is Snake doing? He can't play, can he?
Bing bong.
This piano. There's something amiss with the keys. You mean it's out of tune or something? No, not that. It's probably tuned, but just... well, the sounds are clearly purposefully different. The C key doesn't yield a C, but rather a different note entirely. The same goes for the D keys. They play some other note. Huh. Why do you think it's like that? Isn't it painfully obvious? Zero modified it in some way. This piano, you see, is part of one of the puzzles Zero has set for us. Perhaps if we play the keys in the correct order, something will happen. In other words, we just need to play a song on the piano. I believe so. Just plays Greensleeves, that's the only thing I know. It's totally a table with a mirror. Yes, you know, that sort of thing is known as a vanity. Were you aware of that, Junpei? Of course, vanity also refers to self-love, conceit, and narcissism. As such, you could say that every day when a woman looks into one of these, she is staring at her own conceit and narcissism. Doesn't that strike you as terribly sad?
Okay.
Let's see, which one of these doors did I go into? Not this one. This safe is locked. It's one of those dial locks. Doesn't have a key. We just need to get the dials in the right place and it'll open. Did you find anything, Seven? Nope. How about you, Snake? I also found nothing.
Ooh. Nice.
Can we combine that, or is that for later? Okay, that's for later. A leather suitcase. There's nothing inside. I can tell by the weight, and it makes no noise when shaken. It's a leather suitcase. Unfortunately, there's nothing inside. Man, we're seeing... bed with a canopy. I've seen things like this in movies and stuff, but I've never in real life. True, you don't see too many these days. I can't see the details, obviously, but I imagine it's one of those princess beds Clover is so fond of. Clover wants one of these? Yes. She wants a princess bed. Didn't I say that? You think it doesn't suit her? Yeah, I guess you could say that. Ah, Junpei. Judge by appearances, will you? And well, you should not. Let's see. I found a lot of things that, like, need something else. A window. There's an iron plate nailed to it. We need to find the other things. Okay, that was the safe. Is this the same table? I think so. Yes. Learned how fusion works. Ooh, is it different? I've almost made all the Persona I can noise. Burger!
Oh, Borga.
Actually, I just ate before stream, so I'm not hungry. There's an iron grate in front of the fireplace. There's something behind it. A fireplace, huh? Don't see one of these too often. Aren't a lot of people these days with real fireplaces and real fires. Huh? There's something in the back. Let's see if I can reach it. Just a little... Damn, it's hot! You aren't real smart, are you? Come on, of course it's gonna be hot. It's a fire. Even a monkey knows it shouldn't stick its hand in the fire. Let's do it again! There's something in the fireplace behind the fire. How am I gonna get to it? We need a stick. An old-fashioned desk. Adds a lot of class to the room. Let's see. I was using a calculator, but I didn't understand why it made what. Oh yeah. It is kind of weird to get the hang of the Persona fusions. Let's see. It'll snap like a twig if 7 sits on it, though. Mind your own business. Perhaps a fry or two. Oh yeah, I can have a fry. Ninth man's body is on the other side of that door. Maybe I don't want to go out there after all. Oh right, that was the door we came out of. Oh, I missed this room. There's a suitcase made of leather of the color of rich mahogany. Well, shoot, it looks like there's nothing in it. There's a leather suitcase. Dang, nothing in there. Okay. So now we... now we have more music sheets. We need something to grab the one that's in the fire. I get it, you're gonna use this face, right? That's pretty clever, Junpei. Yeah. That's what I clicked on this face for. We just gotta fill this thing with water. From the toilet, right? And I beat Reaper twice without cheese. Nice! So now you got all the XP. Nothing strange going on here. I want to fill my vase with toilet water. Okay, we'll fill it with this water. The bathtub's full of gross, cloudy water. Alright, shouldn't be too hard to fill this vase up. Did I go the wrong way? No, I'm in the right area. Alright, time to put this fire out. About time, buddy, let's do it! Here we go. Good job. Another success. That fire didn't stand a chance. Alright, I'll just pull this out now. Don't want to get burned, so let's pull down the sleeves. Okay. So we got a score. We just got score plates. What do we do in there? Combine them with any of them? No. Ah, okay. We need to we need to have 7 be like, I had a music teacher and she was hot. Or something. As Junpei tucked the plate into his pocket. 7 cried out and stumbled, his balance lost. He threw out a hand and caught the wall in time to steady himself and avoid the floor, but his face was flushed and he looked startled.
Hey, 7. What the hell was that?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just felt a little dizzy, that's all.
7 rubbed a couple of fingers across his brow and then shook his head, as if to clear it.
What the hell is wrong with me? There's memory loss and I'm getting dizzy for no reason.
Oh no.
Memory loss?
Junpei couldn't hide the surprise in his voice. 7, for his part, seemed unconcerned.
Oh, yeah, I guess I didn't tell you, huh? I told the rest of them before we ran into you on the stairs. I told them I couldn't remember a damn thing from before I woke up. Didn't realize I hadn't told you.
Whoa, wait a minute. You're talking about amnesia, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Gotten that kind of dizzy spell once before I tried stronger pain meds for wisdom teeth removal. I smacked my head against the wall. Oh no! Oh no! I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, why are you an amnesiac? What happened to you?
If I knew that, I wouldn't really be one, would I?
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true.
Junpei paused for a moment and stared at 7.
Are you telling the truth?
Huh?
Well, you look pretty calm for somebody who doesn't remember anything. If you've really got amnesia, shouldn't you be, like, upset or confused or something?
Junpei, are you gatekeeping amnesia? It's like, you're not confused or angry or anything, so do you really have amnesia? Or are you just forgetful? And for whatever reason, I was dizzy all day yesterday and didn't know why. Some days are like that for me too. Like sometimes I'll just be sitting and then I'll...
Pretty confused when I woke up down on D-deck.
Whoops. But sometimes I'll just be like sitting and then like I'll look over to the side and then my brain's like, wee!
But that was a while ago. I've had some time to get used to it. After a while, I figured it wasn't worth the trouble of worrying about it. After all, why worry about something I can't change? Well, people usually don't stay amnesiacs forever. I figure it'll work itself out eventually.
That's it?
That's it. Alright, that's enough talking for now. Let's get back to work.
7 gave Junpei a look the younger man wasn't sure how to interpret and turned to walk away.
Oh, thank you for the hydrate.
With something like that.
As my water bottle screams. Somehow, though, Junpei didn't find his reassurances very reassuring. Okay, so now that we have the music sheets... Nope, not this room. I guess we'll go back here on the piano. An upright piano. From the feel of the wood, it must be quite old. Music stand. Might as well put the music I found on it. I'll put the ceramic plate on the bottom. And the glass plates onto... Wait a minute. What's wrong? Well, I put them all on top of each other, but they look... odd. It doesn't really feel like it really doesn't look like a song. Then in all likelihood, we haven't found them all. We need to find more glass plates. So it would be in the safe, in theory. It's a safe with a dialogue. Ow! Okay, bye! Oh no! I just popped out of nowhere, too! Why am I over here? It's okay, Peach. I had a feeling I wasn't gonna say anything. Oh. I didn't know you could squish emotes. I don't know why that looks so silly, just squished. Not gonna lie, that sounds like low blood pressure or low blood sugar. You may need to do something about it when that happens again. Maybe. I was trying to accept all the redeems to show you. Oh, okay, it's okay. It's okay, bitch. It's okay. It's okay. It's a safe with a dialogue on it. We won't be able to open it until we know the right numbers. So there's something that I haven't clicked correctly, probably. There's nothing in the drawer. Yep, totally empty. Some sort of lock, apparently. It's connected to a microphone. I'm trying to be a good mom. It's okay, Peach. It's okay. It is okay. Don't worry about it, Peach. You are all good. Doesn't look like a keyhole in the store. Oh, double think. Oh my gosh. True, but there is some strange device in lieu of one. Okay. So, let's see. We looked in the bed. We already moved to the pillow. Man, this makes me miss my own bed and sleep. There was nothing here other than it's fancy. It's a sink. The water doesn't appear to be working. Maybe now we can pull the plug? There's a plug on the end of this chain. Alright, why don't we just drain this water? Yeah, good plan. Alright, where's that thing? A good tug should be enough to get it out. Huh? I think I see one. Yeah. Okay, this should be the last one, I think. I can't imagine another place where there would be one. Whoops. Almost ate the toothpick from the burger thinking it was a fry. Oh no! A very crunchy fry. Music stand. Seems a good place as any to put the music that we found. Just gotta put the ceramic plate on the bottom and then stack the glass plates on top of it. Alright, good. Okay, got all of them. Sweet. Now I can play the music. Junpei, would you be so kind as to play the piano? I am unable to... You see. I'm sure I needn't tell you, but the keys on this piano are not what you might expect from them to be. C won't be C, D won't be D, and so forth. You must listen carefully to determine which keys to strike. Do you understand? Yeah, alright, let's give this a shot. That's F. D, E, F. Okay. Dun, dun. No. Dun, dun. No. Oh my gosh, it's a mess! This is gonna be a lot of trial and error. Okay. Okay, those keys don't do anything. Oops. Whoops. Heck. Oh, okay. the dun.
Yay!
And we're done. Music is not my forte. Wait, what was that noise? Junpei, we did it. Looks like it worked. I heard something unlock over by the exit. Let's go. Good plan. Stand, bow, be seated. Well, I guess he hasn't forgotten that. At least Snake thinks it's funny. Well, I suppose that was the classroom bell, wasn't it? I don't imagine that's what Zero was thinking of, however. No, Zero most certainly meant to suggest Minster, not middle school. Westminster? The Palace of London that plays host these days to the Houses of the Parliament. You've heard of Big Ben, the famous clock tower, yes? Big Ben plays that very collection of notes on the hour. London, the capital of England, huh? At any rate, the door is now unlocked. Let's leave this place immediately. But we didn't know a combination for this. We haven't dealt with the safe at all. A safe. It's a safe. A safe, huh? The exit's open. Yes, strange that we didn't need to open this to achieve our goal. Do you think it's important? I wonder what's in there. Oh, yeah, the sign's green now. I would imagine that means it's now unlocked. Then what the hell are we sitting around here for? Let's get out of here. I don't think we even found a card for one of the star signs. Alright, let's go.
Bing bong, bing bong, bong, bing bong, bing.
He came out of the door and into a long, straight hallway.
Another hallway?
He paused for a moment and turned around to look behind him.
That should do it.
Seven was bent over, apparently doing something to the door.
What's he up to?
Junpei had spoke more or less to himself, but apparently Seven had heard anyway. The larger man stood up and turned to Junpei.
I was just putting one of those plates in there. It ought to keep the door from locking again. Now we can come back here anytime we want, right?
Ah, why would you want to come back here?
'Cause of the safe. Snake was a reasonable one. Seven thought about it for a moment before he answered.
I might like to play a little piano.
Piano?
Come on, let's get moving. We aren't out of this yet.
Without waiting for an answer, Seven started off down the hallway.
Well then,
Snake shrugged, sighed, and quietly followed Seven. That's a lie, Junpei thought to
Can't
himself.
say I could ever imagine Seven playing the piano. He couldn't use the piano in there anyway. The keyboard's a mess. But why would he want to leave the door unlocked then? I have no clue.
Because Junpei, there was a safe you guys didn't open, you nerd.
Hey, wait for me!
Junpei frowned, took one last look at the door, and then walked away towards his companions. After some time in the hallway, they emerged into a larger, more open area.
Whoa, a metal grate?
A large metal grate, like the door of a jail, divided it in half.
Why is this thing...
They shook it for a while, but as they had expected, it did not move.
Figures.
Are those elevators over there?
No way to know if they're working or not from here. Oh, there's a door just to the left of this grate.
Unfortunately, however, it was locked and refused to open.
sounds like it's locked.
Yep.
Junpei took a moment to examine the left side of the
Stairs
room.
leading down.
They're blocked by the grate, though.
Great, it's a great grate.
Yeah, it is great.
Open up! Let me in!
But this here seems accessible.
So we can open it?
Nah, I think it's locked, too. Look.
Oh yeah, I don't think we have anything for that symbol. I think? I don't know. In the center of the door was a small keyhole. Next to the keyhole, a small symbol that had been carved into the metal.
What's this mark? The female symbol.
He wasn't quite sure what to make of it. Snake, naturally, was somewhat more sure.
Ah, The Venus symbol, I imagine. Do you recall the similar symbols near the large central stairway? They reference many of the solar bodies.
Oh, that's right. The Sun, Saturn, and Earth.
So, as you can see, that one is likely.
Not the woman symbol, but a Venus symbol.
So I assume.
Hold on. Where's 7?
While they had been discussing the symbols, Junpei now realized 7 had slipped away. His absence now felt. Snake and Junpei turned to look for their
there he is, down that hallway.
Junpei, you didn't have to interrupt me. For their missing companion. 7 had left them to head down the hallway, extending to the right of the stairs.
This way, Snake. Follow me.
Junpei grabbed Snake to lead him to the right direction, and they both headed off after 7. Before long, the 3 of them stood in front of a door.
I wonder if this door will...
It was a French door.
How about that? It opens.
Junpei tested the door and realized that, unlike so many others that they had encountered, it was unlocked. Almost as though he was afraid it would suddenly lock itself, Junpei threw the door open. He stepped inside. Oh,
Oh, wow.
what a fancy room. It took only a moment for Junpei to take in his new surroundings.
Is this some kind of casino?
Sure looks like one.
Before Junpei could comment further, a noise from behind made him turn around. Snake was shaking the door they'd just come through.
Well, this is troubling.
As 7 and Junpei watched, he threw his hands up in frustration and then kicked the door for good measure.
Seems we are once again locked in.
There was no reason to panic, however.
Even if that door was open, it's not like we had anywhere to go that way.
So we must find another exit then.
All right, guys, let's split up and search this room. Come on, no dawdling. Let's go. Quickly now.
Spurred into action by 7's words, Junpei and Snake began to examine the room. Okay, so now we got even more puzzles to do. See, there's a vase. That is too far for me to click, I guess. Well, would you look at that? Someone left a bottle of booze here. Don't mind if I do. Glug, glug, glug. Oh, that hits the spot. Feels like my throat's burning. Damn, he really drank it. We don't even know how long it's been there. Seek a way to gamble. Yee. There's something on the counter. Looks like a card. A playing card. Oh, it's a 7 of spades. A playing card? A 4 of spades. Wow. There's a whole lot of glasses on that shelf. Doesn't look like there's anything else back there, though. Oh, another card. Hey, Junpei, isn't that a card sitting on the table there? This feeling. It seems to be a playing card. So, man, they're all spades. I can click that little thing, but I can't actually look at it from here. That's a little silly. Okay. So we got these. Oh! Wait, when those 2 lights turned on, I heard something from the bottom of the fireplace. What was that? I heard something down there. Oh, there's a card. Didn't think I'd find a card here. They are all spades. I got some casino coins for doing the simplest puzzle. Just turn on some lights. Firewood. Nothing else. It says 1 on the plate. Alright, let's put a coin in that bag here. What happened? I heard an odd noise. Well, to be honest, I don't know. I pressed some of the buttons and smacked the machine once or twice, but nothing happened. Oh, looks like the coin got stuck. Oh dear. The reel won't move because the coins are stuck. The coins are stuck in there, but good. The machine won't be working anymore. Let's break all the machines! Alright, let's drop this coin in the coin slot. Come on, you little bastards. I only need one of you. Oh. I forget what the order was. And this is a tough one. And what is so tough, if I may ask? Hitting these reels just right. The timing is, well, it's not easy. I don't believe you need to just hit them right.
Huh? I need to look at the answer. Because I just turned on the lights and didn't pay attention to the thing.
Okay, it was diamond and heart. Because I knew it was... clovers. Heart, spade, and diamond. What do you mean? The symbols on the reels. They're the same as the playing card symbols that I saw over on the fireplace. But this is different. Junpei, are the reels the only place where you need to see the symbols? Don't you think the symbols might be found in other places as well, apart from the reels? But time to try again. Okay. So...
Yeah! I did it!
7, 7. Yes! 7, 7, 7! And I think I hear something unlocking in there. Impressive, Junpei. It would appear to be unlocked now. There is something akin to a drawer on the bottom part of the machine, yes? That is a pickup drawer for dividend. Probably the lock for the drawer got unlocked. Please open it if you would.
Okay. A key.
What is it? What is it? Is there something in there? Yeah, a playing card. And this. A key with the Venus symbol on it. Excellent, Junpei. Now we'll be able to open the gate. Then we'll need to figure out how to get out of this room. Correct. Come on, Junpei, hurry up. And he's off. There was a playing card and a Venus key. Better put the key in my pocket for later. As for the card...
Whoa!
Okay, probably don't do anything with this. It's the coin slot. Yeah. Damn it. This isn't exactly working out the way I expected. It's locked, isn't it? Is there a keyhole? If there is, I can't find it. Well, there must be some way to unlock it. Let's look around a little more, shall we? Here's a card slot. It looks like we need to put a playing card in here. Alright, let's give it a shot. Okay, so... we don't... Six and 2. No. I think we need to find an 8. It's not working. So, Dasim, I am shocked and appalled that guessing at random has not yielded better results. Yeah. Okay. Oh, we didn't look at this area at all. Check out the stained glass. How beautiful. What? Huh? Stained glass is colored pieces of glass pasted together in a frame. As I've said many times before, I need only touch it to know. I can at least discern the basic structure. There are 4 chairs surrounding the square table. A square table. Looks like a mahjong table. Do you play mahjong, 7? Maybe? I don't remember exactly, but I do remember a couple pans and some of the rules, so figure I must have played it at some point. Excellent. Once we vacated this vessel, I should like to play a game with you. Can you, play? So long as you tell me which tiles I am eliminating, yes. I believe I have at least enough skill to defeat an amateur. However, I must ask you to remove the red tiles when we play. The blind dude has a lot of attitude. Yeah,
Snake is a little sassy.
Okay, we got a 3. Suddenly, 7 began to speak.
Ah, Baccarat. You ever played Junpei?
No. Not me.
Junpei shook his head. He barely even heard of the game.
No, never.
Alright then, how about I explain the rules to you a bit?
Okay, I'm gonna forget them.
See, Baccarat is kind of an unusual game. You've got the banker and the player. The whole point is that you guess which one's gonna win. And whether the banker or the player wins, it all depends on their hands. The way each hand works is different from other games too. You see, you take the number from the ones place after you add up the value of all your cards. Whoever gets the number closest to 9 wins. If your number is smaller than your opponent's, you lose. And that's it. That's the explanation. Got it? Well, actually, there's a lot more to it. Strategy, details, that sort of stuff. But what I just told you sums up the core of the game pretty well. The single digit of the sum of all the cards you have. The strongest hand is a 9, and the weakest hand is a 0. You just ignore the number in the 10 spot. Do you get it?
Yeah.
He hadn't been asked for it, but Seven's explanation rushed through it had been was helpful.
Well, maybe half of it. Enough. I got a chance at winning the game if I played now.
Sounds like an alternate version of blackjack. Probably. Having fun there. Yeah, just.
However, we have no way of knowing if the puzzle in the Baccarat table makes use of those rules, and if it does, in what manner.
Then I guess we try everything.
Feeling more confident, if only slightly, Junpei approached the Baccarat table. So there's 2 zeros. Okay. So we need to make 8, I assume? Hey, 7, are we really supposed to play Baccarat? It's a Baccarat table. What else will we do? Stop worrying about it. It's real simple. What's the opponent's hand? Well, there's an 8 in the glass case. Alright, then that's your opponent's number. If that's the case, what 3 cards do we need to get that number? 3 cards? There are a couple of indentations in the white lines around them, right? Those mean we gotta put down 3 cards. So, place 3 cards here and defeat the opponent's 8. That's what I've got to do, I guess. Yeah, I think so. Something tells me those aren't the only rules. Alright, let's give it a shot. Before I start, I better make sure I've got the rules straight. There are 3 empty indentations. I just gotta pick a card and play it. I figure if I put them in the right spot, something ought to happen. Alright, let's give this a try. Right spots? Okay, ciao. So if we do 4, 3, and 2. Yay! Alright, if I just put down these 3 cards. Yes, open for me. Great. You did it, Junpei. You think it's telling us to take the 8 card? Come on, let's grab it.
I'm working on it.
Alright, let's take this card.
Wow!
3 cards I put down are stuck to the table. They won't be going anywhere anytime soon.
Okay, that's fine with me.
Was there anything over here? I don't think so.
Let's just put this 8 in the lock.
And in you go. Hey, alright, it opened up. It seems we have another device to contend with, yes? There are 3 slots in this one. Ooh, let's see, 3 slots for cards, and there's a 9 right below them. So that probably means we gotta make 9 with these 3 cards and we put in the slots, right? Just like what we did over at the Baccarat table. Alright, let's give it a shot. I mean, I only have 3 cards. So let's just put them all in there, it'll be fine. Yay! Alright, so I put all the cards that we had left into the slots. What happens now? Is that... Yes, I did hear something from the exit. Excellent work, Junpei. Wonderful. It seems the exit is unlocked. Let's go.
Okay, you don't gotta tell me twice.
Alright, let's go. That was... I feel like that was the easiest puzzle room. Big brain. Whoa, I almost knocked over something. Junpei and his companions ran out of the casino and into a large open room. A room, in fact, that they had been in once before. There was little to surprise them there. They already knew what their next step had to be.
This way.
The iron gate still stood in place, locked tight, blocking the stairway, and right in the center of it...
The keyhole with the Venus symbol.
But... didn't you get the Earth symbol?
The Venus key should work here.
Didn't... Has that been in your pocket the whole time, Junpei? Wasting no time, he pulled it out and shoved it into the keyhole. He turned it. With the distinctive sound on metal, he felt the lock click open.
Sounds like it did.
Whoa!
Alright, let's get this thing open.
No problem. Let me help with this one.
Junpei grabbed the handle on the left side, and Seven took the handle on the right. On Junpei's signal, they both pushed, and the gate creaked open.
It sounds as though you have opened it. We should be able to reach C deck now, I imagine.
Snake, are you gonna be alright? I mean, the stairs.
Please, do not do yourself the embarrassment of underestimating me. I would be unlikely to trip even if I were running backwards.
Good to hear. Let's move.
At Seven's words, they leapt onto the staircase and jogged quickly down them. In no time at all, they found themselves on C deck.
Everything looks okay here.
We should check the next deck down, just in case.
When we reached the water, he called back up to Snake and Seven.
Just what I thought. D-deck is completely underwater.
Just like the bottom of the central staircase.
The surface of the water below them was flat, like a mirror.
I'm just glad the water level hasn't changed much.
Back to the C deck then.
Now, how about we check out what's here?
They began searching around and taking stock of what was on C deck.
There are 2 elevators over there, which means it's probably the same upstairs.
There's a card reader between them. And another weird mark.
Hey, check it out. It's the symbol for Lotus.
What?
See? It's got the woman symbol, and then it's got the devil horns, right?
Wow, so funny, Junpei.
Yeah, I see it. No two ways about it. That was a pretty good one, kid.
Seven tousled Junpei's hair in what he likely thought to be a friendly manner. Junpei feared his neck might break, even though it was clear Seven had kept his strength in check.
Oh, would you watch it, man? Whoa, that hurts. You're gonna break my neck.
What are you talking about? The human body ain't that weak. Maybe this'll toughen you up, huh?
If we were looking for a devil, we've got one right here.
Thankfully, Snake interrupted. After Junpei's observation, he'd gone over to examine the card reader.
This is a Mercury symbol. The marks you mistook for horns are a stylized version of the wings and staff of Hermes.
Wings and a staff. Huh. So then, she beats you with the staff until you die and go to heaven. Sounds like Lotus, all right.
Oh my gosh, Seven. Seven shook Junpei's head even more vigorously, and the younger man began to feel as though his brain was being jostled around inside his skull.
Heaven! Oh, that's too much! Oh, my head!
How we doing, everyone behaving themselves? Yeah, we all behaving, we just vibing.
Junpei's stomach began churning uncomfortably.
Oh, I think I'm gonna puke.
Unless we can activate this device, I doubt the elevator will function.
In other words, we gotta find a key card with a Mercury symbol on it.
So I would assume.
Let's forget the elevators for right now. How about that hallway to the left?
Whoa, there's a bunch of doors.
There were a great many doors lining both the sides of the hallway. They seemed to stretch on forever. All 3 men suddenly felt very small.
Ah, shit. We're not gonna have enough time to check all these, are we?
Maybe we can come back here later. We should check out the other side. Let's head back.
To the right of the stairs, another hallway stretched out, reaching deep into the bowels of the ship.
To the right this time.
2 hops this time. After a few moments of moving briskly down the hallway, they emerged into an area roughly the same size and shape as the one on the top of the stairs. On the left side of the room were 4 French doors.
There are doors here too. Well, I guess it's just 4 this time.
Let's open them up, starting with the closest one there.
Okay, I'm on it.
Junpei nodded and grabbed the one closest to him. He gave it a small tug and felt it move.
It isn't locked. I'm going to open it.
Thrilled to have found another unlocked door, he threw it open. I can't stop hopping. It's like the part where it's like, everybody clap your hands. It's just like, everybody hop. Hop in place. Hop, 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 hop. Junpei didn't know what to make of what he saw.
What?
I cursed you what? For the hopping or just the you know, Peach, you gotta get funky. Funky. Everybody clap your hands. Clap, 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 clap your hands.
He simply stood, unable to speak. Seven's eyes opened wide and his mouth gaped. After a few long moments, Seven at last managed to speak.
Hey, what is this place? It's so huge and empty.
A massive room stretched out in front of them, more a cavern than a room. Its vastness was oppressive, and bore down on Seven and Junpei. It was not empty, however. The entire room was filled with lines upon lines of beds. They were simple things, little more than pipe and thin mattresses.
Oh, there are beds everywhere.
Is this a hospital? The harsh scent in the air is reminiscent of antiseptic solution.
I think so. There are shelves in the center of the room with medicine and surgical tools.
Hey, look there. The 4 doors at the end.
3 of them emblazoned with large single-digit numbers made with thick red paint.
The left door says 3. The second door is blank, but the third has a 7. And the rightmost door is 8. There's no doubt. They're numbered doors.
Hey, why is that door between 3 and 7 blank? Does that mean anything?
No point worrying about it right now. Let's see if these will open first.
Yeah, good idea.
The 3 of them threaded their way through the beds towards the back of the room. Upon reaching them, they proceeded to investigate each door in turn, but to no avail.
Yep, locked. Just like I thought.
Naturally. After all, there are rules to the nonary game, and to allow these doors to open easily would violate those rules. Unless we can authenticate ourselves with the red, the numbered doors will...
Whoa, check this out.
Suddenly, Seven spoke up, interrupting Snake.
Look at the red. There's nothing on it.
Huh?
Don't you remember the red back at the main staircase? If there wasn't anyone in it, it said vacant on the little screen, remember?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right.
But this one,
There's nothing.
right? You think it's broken?
Only one way to find out.
No, nothing.
Junpei and the others put their hands on the panel, but nothing happened. The red refused to change. They tried pulling the lever, and still nothing. As they soon discovered, it wasn't only the red on the door 8 that seemed to be malfunctioning.
How about the red on door 7? And door 3?
I didn't think all of them would be malfunctioning.
What does it mean?
They've gotta be broken. Man, that bastard. I didn't think Zero was the kind of guy who'd screw around with something like this.
Whoa. Zero's been prepared for everything so far, and you're saying he's gonna make a mistake now?
Well, that's the only thing I can think of. This thing ain't working at all.
While Junpei and Seven talked, Snake busied himself with examining the red. After a time, he lowered his hands and spoke.
It seems as if some of the internal hardware has been removed.
Internal hardware?
That is what I said. Take a look at the underside of this red, if you please.
He was so sassy with, "That is what I said." You don't need to repeat everything you hear, Junpei.
The bottom?
Junpei obliged and bent over to look at the underside of the device.
Huh, there's a thin slot here. I think it's a slot for something. Probably electronic.
The other 2 reds are the same. Something's been removed from all 3 of them.
I get it. So the reds aren't working because somebody pulled out their guts.
So I assume.
But why? And who? I mean, it really doesn't make sense.
I have no idea. Why on earth would I know something like that?
Snake's like, "Please stop asking me these questions, Junpei." Just then, they heard the sound of a door opening.
Oh, what now?
The 3 of them turned and saw Akane. Oh, no, Junpei thought. It's...
June!
She stopped short, surprised to see them, and was very nearly bowled over by the rest of her companions, who were coming through the door behind her.
Ace! Santa! Clover! And Lotus!
Guess everyone's here.
Junpei and Seven were, for a moment, at a loss for words.
What are you guys doing?
Why are you...
That's my line?
Perhaps we should exchange information.
After a moment of silence and surprise, everyone suddenly began to talk, desperate to exchange information. They talked about the rooms that they'd been through and how they'd ended up in the same place. Of course, none of it was very useful information, but that hardly mattered. They were happy to simply see one another again. Although the level of cheer varied greatly from person to person, each one of them was wearing some manner of a smile.
almost as though they had already forgotten about the death of the ninth man. No, thought Junpei, perhaps that wasn't it. Perhaps thoughts of his death were what drove them to smile at one another. Not in a morbid or hateful way, no, the ninth man had died. But they were still alive, and that was something to be happy about. A sort of simple, uncomplicated joy, Junpei thought. The joy of being alive. Still alive. He felt sorry for the ninth man, but more than anything, Junpei was just happy to be alive.
And that's what we know.
With that, Junpei finished his own explanation.
Well, this isn't good. If the red is inactive, we can't keep going.
I think this is where it connects. Let me see. Let me see the flow map. It is not. It's close, though. Also, I think... No, wait. Okay, stuff is still locked? I don't know. We'll figure out. We'll figure out how to do pathing stuff. Because it almost looks like more stuff was locked than before. So I'm kind of confused.
What about that big hallway? Maybe there's somewhere in there we might be able to go.
No, there's nothing there. The 5 of us had a quick look. There are plenty more hospital rooms, but nothing else.
You mean all those doors are for hospital rooms?
Yes. There are a number of individual rooms in addition to this large one.
Yeah, June's a cute baby. She very sweet.
There was a door at the end of the hallway, but it was locked.
It had one of those solar system mark things on it.
It was the Jupiter symbol.
Jupiter.
I wonder what it means.
Confusion seemed to be the consensus.
While we're asking what things mean, what's the deal with this room? I mean, I thought this was a cruise ship, but I can't imagine a cruise ship would have a hospital like this.
I don't know why, but Clover seems annoying. Probably because I think she's like the youngest one there. I don't think they actually give a canon age to her. I could be wrong about that. But like in my mind, she's like maybe a high schooler. But for all I know, she could be older. No one, not even Snake, appeared ready to offer up an answer until Seven unexpectedly spoke up.
Well, I figure it's probably a hospital ship. Chances are it's the Gigantic.
The Gigantic?
Junpei looked at Seven, shocked both by his knowledge and the apparent identity of their prison. He was not the only one.
What is this gigantic?
Seven nodded to Lotus and began to speak.
The Gigantic. She was a sister ship to the Titanic, built in the early 20th century. Actually, the Titanic had 2 sister ships, and they looked exactly the same. The Gigantic was said to be one of them. They intended to make her a passenger liner like the Titanic, but World War I began soon after the ship launched. The British Navy took her over and made her a hospital ship. At some point during the war, the Gigantic was damaged by a German mine in the Aegean Sea. She ran aground afterwards, so she didn't end up sunk. What happened to her after that? One theory going around is that a man named Lord Gordain bought her. Seemed like he'd been one of the few to survive the Titanic sinking. That trauma turned him into some kind of obsessive collector of all things related to the Titanic. Soon enough, the guy wanted the Titanic itself. Which was impossible, of course. It's stuck at the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean. But the Gigantic wasn't. And seeing as she was identical...
So you're saying this Lord Gordain bought this ship?
Real quick, talking about a collection of Titanic, has anybody else that goes on TikTok, has anybody come across the guy that just collects VHSs of Titanic? And he has like 50 of them for some reason. They've started showing up and I'm like, why am I on this part of TikTok?
Yeah, at least I think I am.
That's impossible. No way we're in some boat that's almost 100 years old.
Yeah, it's this one guy, like I was watching it because it was just like, oh, they're thrift shopping, that's fun. Oh, they're nice, they found Titanic on VHS. And then it's just like, that makes my 35th copy of Titanic on VHS. Like he has that specific tone in his voice and I'm like, how did I get here? And I keep seeing more and more and it's like, why?
Pipe down, just pay attention. What, that's it? Well, have you got any proof?
Proof?
Proof that this ship is really the Gigantic.
Well, this ship's got stuff that's like the Titanic and a hospital ship. So, I just figured...
Oh, for goodness. Don't tell me that's your only reason.
No, I've got more.
Like?
Well, I mean,
You don't have to be mean to Seven, Lotus. Jeez. Seven looked around desperately, doing anything to avoid meeting Lotus's piercing stare. He scratched his head for a moment, then gave up. Finally, he opened his mouth.
I don't know.
Lotus sighed and shook her head.
I guess your memory isn't back yet, is it?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Then, almost as if to save Seven from further embarrassment. So it's like that guy with the Space Jam DVDs. I guess so. Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD, Space Jam DVD.
Huh. A bell.
Oh, I think I forgot to say a bell began to ring from far
Sounds
away.
like the clock in the main stairway.
Windows, I don't want an update. I am busy. Junpei counted each chime carefully.
10, 11, 12. Huh, 12.
It's midnight.
Then we've still got 6 hours left, right?
Let's get going. We gotta find the missing parts for the Reds.
What do you mean, find? How on earth do you propose we do that?
Oh, here we go! Whee! Hello, Sandman! You've been saving those points for a while. Oh, well, there we go. Now I'm off screen. Oh, I think I'm also broken. There we go. I'm not on screen. There we go. Hello, Sinbad. How you doing? You're doing good. Beat. Okay. At least it wasn't that big. It's okay, Peach. It's okay, Peach. Don't worry about it. They've been examining the room as they talked.
We haven't found anything.
Told me you had a lot. Yeah. I still need to figure out more things to use for channel point redeems. It's okay, Peach. It adds to the funny. To the funny ha-has.
Right.
That only leaves one place to look.
One?
Well, not just one.
Huh?
Wait. Don't tell me you mean we need to search all of the other rooms.
Yes, every single one of them. At 43k points, someday I'll torment you. One day. I feel like I need to do another, like, a community thing. But I don't know what. My only idea is just another karaoke stream, but, like, I need to actually, like, I feel like I need to actually, like, plan out a set list to do. Or at least more so.
Well, you already checked some of them out before you came here, right?
But one day I will do another karaoke stream, because it was fun.
We each checked a single room, so 5 rooms in total.
All right, then. That's 5 rooms we don't have to search. We just have to split up the rest between the 8 of us. If each of us can do 6 rooms apiece, we'll have the other 48 rooms cleared in no time.
There are 48 other rooms?
Lotus did not seem excited by the prospect. Seven fidgeted nervously before responding.
Maybe?
After some discussion, the 8 of them decided which rooms to begin with, and in what order they would go. Junpei was chosen to search the rooms on the starboard side, moving from fore to aft.
Alright, so everyone knows which area they're searching?
Yeah.
Yes!
They also determined what they would return to report their findings. The next time the clock sounded the time, I'm gonna check to see if we actually... Okay, no. It's like, I don't know when... Let me click onto it to see, like, when... I don't know. I don't know where we're at. When it did, they would meet back at the large central room full of beds.
We'll all meet up when the clock goes off again. How about in that room with all the beds?
Maybe it's after we search that it'll be connected. I'm not sure.
Yeah, sounds straightforward enough.
If, during their search, any one of them were to locate missing components, they were to yell for the
I'll
others.
shout if I find any of the components we need.
I hope we can find them within the time limit.
If this strategy failed, they would return to discuss their options
If
later.
we can't, then we'll just have to come up with another plan.
Right.
Once I get to 180k points, I can make you a voice for 3 hours straight. Oh no! Oh no, that would kill my voice.
Then let's do this.
The details decided, they left to begin searching. Out into the hallway they went, each to the rooms they'd been assigned. However, okay, I think with the fade in and fade out, that signifies yes, okay. So everything is locked except for this thing that's up here. I don't know what that means. Oops, I didn't actually select it. So, okay. So I think if I do this the skip thing, it won't skip things that we haven't read. Because yeah, now we're just finding where the new stuff is. What if I just give them the wrong number?
5. It'd be 5. That means there's no way we can pass through door 4. Wait. Hold on a second.
Wait, hold on, that's not it.
Something's off.
Junpei ran the numbers
8
again.
plus 3 plus 6 plus 5 is 22. So, the digital root of 22, 2 plus 2 equals 4.
He repeated what he determined. Okay. Okay, so this still isn't new. So what? I don't know what to do here. Because that's them going in the room. And then we go in there. I don't think there was anything for a code in here. I'm not 100% sure. Because I feel like it's supposed to be in this area before we get into the puzzle room. Unless the key is like backwards for what's locked and what's unlocked. Because I feel like more stuff was unlocked when we last looked, but I could be wrong. Because yeah, we're going through that symbol. Because in theory we would come back with a code for that safe. I don't... Was there a thing in here? Let me look at the... Let me look at the flowchart. Okay, so that's unlocked. So we might need to go through the... We might need to go through the puzzle again? I don't know. Let me see if there's a thing around here as I just go in and out of the same room.
I'm going to hang out with Lotus and Santa, you nerd. Oh, okay, fine. We need to look around here. This vase looks expensive. Wow, we want to steal it.
Because I want to see if there was any of the symbols. Because there might have been in Lotus and Santa's room. So I'm just kind of speeding through here.
Suspicious. Wow, we're in a shower together. Yes, Funyarinpa. Yes.
Because yeah, I'm trying to see. We have the matches. Oh yes.
Let's see. It's not like that.
Hey, come on. It's not like that.
We'll do this so that way there's a little bit of new stuff. Junpei did his best to act as though he didn't care. His best wasn't very good.
I guess you haven't changed at all, Jumpy.
She giggled.
By the way, Jumpy, how did you end up here?
What do you mean? I told you earlier, didn't I?
There was a man with a gas mask when you got home at night.
Okay, this isn't no. It was just that little bit. Bum 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 bum.
Okay. I think that was that the only thing we needed? No, okay. Something in this room, probably. Oh yeah, there was something under the pillows. Yeah, we got flustered when we were in the shower, but talking about a bed, Junpei's just like, Are you feeling sick here? Okay. Okay, there wasn't anything in there. Bum 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 bam. Oh wait, we need the map. I don't want to hear about the gigantic. Even with those walls, I'd found a way to fall out and break my finger on that bed. Oh no! We'll just do the same one. Yeah, I feel. I'm not even sure if I would feel like cramped in a bed like that because I've never had like a bed with the sides. It would probably be some kind of comfy though. So yeah, we have the dresser key.
Oh, thank you for the hydrant. I'm gonna do that real quick. Oh. As I bonk it against my tooth.
I've never broken a bone, but my sibling actually did and broke their finger. Oh no! Yeah, I'm lucky enough I haven't broken a bone. I have. Oh, thank you for the stretch. I have like stepped on sharp things multiple times as a kid. And funny enough, it would like more often than not be my left foot. I would somehow step on glass or something, and it's just like,
be quiet, Santa. I don't want to hear ya.
Okay. So maybe we don't have to do these puzzles? I'm not quite sure. I did a cool thing with my hydrate. It spawns a drink on my desk for a minute. Ooh, that might be a good idea. I might have to figure out about that. I'm gonna hit my darn ankle at the hotel. Right. Gosh, and I'm angry because it's just like the beds there hurt both of us. I think the same day too. Okay, I'm gonna. Wait, how is that now locked? I'm very confused. It gives us a symbol key, but not like a color key. Oh no, we'll still go through this really quickly just in case. Let's see, I was like, how can I make redeems interact with my VTuber? Yeah. Like how someone says pat or pet or says any word that has that as part of the word. I will get the head pat for a moment. Let me see. Cause yeah, I'm just going through and seeing if there's anything new or if it's just like I just need to be in this room at one point or another. Let's see. Dead in the weak spot of my ankle. I pulled a tendon on several times, I know. See, since I want people to just do stuff to her to promote sitting in chat and messing with it, yeah. I feel like I also need to do some. I think I just need to like have a comprehensive list of my trigger fire commands, or like have them as actual things. Just look at the candlestick, all right? No, I won't look at the candlestick. Need to do a real overlay. I don't think there's like a whole bunch of free ones. The one that I'm using right now is actually a free one. How and why the heck have I not followed you?
Yes. Follow the child.
Oh no! Open it up.
Hey, Junpei, you got a minute?
No, I don't. I don't have a moment to talk to you, Santa. I want to speed through and see if there's actually a reason to, like, be in this room and do the puzzles a second time. I just followed up Emma Pinky somehow doing it. What?
Stop hurting yourself, Peach.
Okay, now we can go over here. Bathroom wall, yes, it's covered in squares. 0 minutes.
Hmm? 0 minutes? What do you mean?
Yes, there it is. Oh, wait. It's a curtain rod along the thing. Let's put that there. Let's put that there. Wait, no, we need to be on the other side to close it. Oh, did I don't think I looked through the whole of the thing. Thank you for... Oh my god. Okay. Okay, right. It was in the other bathroom. Right. No minutes for Santa. Go away. Whoops. Do I not? Oh, I guess I just have the 2. Oh, right, because the other one's in the bathroom. Here it is. That one's loose. There we go. Now we got that tile. Didn't say a single word to the girl. Okay, let's make this Furian Nimpa. Wow! Do 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 do. Let's see. Okay, I can't speed.
I can't be speedy.
Okay, yes, we get the Mars key. So... But I already... We got the Mars key last time. So maybe... I don't know. I'm gonna make sure not to skip this part for anybody who didn't hear it the first time.
Funya Rinpa. See? I mean, this totally looks like one. Here and here.
Yeah.
Junpei indicated parts of the picture that looked exactly like the other parts. After 3 seconds of silence, Lotus looked at Junpei.
What the hell is a Funya Rinpa?
What do you mean? What the hell is a Funya Rinpa? You mean you don't know?
You don't know?
How the hell would I know?
How could you not know?
Shame.
That's practically blasphemous.
Shame on you, Lotus. Not knowing what it is.
Oh, say you're sorry. Apologize to the Funya Rinpa. Goodness, you are such a rude woman.
Can't believe you, Lotus.
Another 3 seconds of awkward silence went by. Lotus opened her mouth as she spoke.
Screwing around.
Or as she shook.
Forget it. I'm just gonna tell you. This is a dog.
No, it's a Funa Nimpa. A dum bum bum do 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 dum.
It's still easier to see the dog than it is to see the lady.
Dum do dum. A dum dum do dum do dum do dum.
So... where was the door to get out? Let's see. Okay, right.
Go over here.
We don't have any reason to go back there, Junpei. Come on.
It's unlocked. Good job. Good. Now we can get going. Wow. Wow.
Come on, Jumpy. Let's go. All right, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. So I don't think there was a reason. But I'm not sure. So maybe... because I know we got a key from here too. Let me go in here. Because it looks like it's when we're in like the general area of the flowchart, it shows something being unlocked. Yeah. So do we not have the red one? Or, like, do we just have the white one? I guess we just have the right one. Was there anything different to do here? Or does that lead us in the same area?
Map of the ship's interior.
Let me double check the flow. Yeah, because that's right. But it's probably going to send us to the left. Because I don't remember there being the choice here. Because this is technically the correct way to go. So we need to go back and do the right, or the red locks. Yeah, we're gonna come back here later. So... is this... yeah, that's locked. I might have to do things in a specific order? Or do I not have the thing for the red locks? Because let's try this again and then go through door 5 and then see if it's still locked. Wait, what room had the gun? Going into that room. And then, the room... oh gosh, it was later.
And the digital root of 14,
nope.
1
Whoops.
plus 4 is 5.
Shush with your math. That was the one with the pushy system. That was the one that we did before I went on my trip. But I don't believe that was the key that we needed. I'm not 100% sure. I might look into the guide because we need certain things. Guide, like red key. Love rainy days, but at the same time hate it for the sheer fact that I'm constantly sleepy. It's raining over there! Oh my gosh. We really traded weather. Because when I got home, it was like 100 and something, and it felt hotter than 112 there, and I was like, what the heck is going on? Okay, so the flow, okay. So if we go from here into there, is that going to be an unlocked key? No. Huh. So we're missing something. But what are we missing? Because if we go into the laboratory... Not raining, but mostly cloudy. Yeah. No rain, though, sadly feels like it, though.
Hopefully at one day we can have you visit, and then
Hopefully on that day it'll be...
well, maybe not. Maybe hopefully rainy.
Cause... Let me go to outside the lab, because maybe we find it going through there? No. So it's something we haven't found, it seems. So I guess let's go back into the laboratory.
It's like I'm not 100% sure what we're doing, what I need to do.
Oh my god, no. I wanna play. Wait, no or yes? You mean both? Yeah, hopefully... I don't even know what would be the best time to do that. Because it'll rain just any time. Okay, so let's just go and speed through this. Computer... oh right, we need the power cable. Okay. So... give me the power cable, okay. And then go over here in the computer. Oh right, the plug's incorrect, so we need to go over and be like, hey Clover, can you get us the little extension thingy majig? Just rapidly presses space. Got strawberries in my drink and they're super juicy and I'm wild and yo! Man, now I want something with strawberries. Okay, now we combine that with that. And then now we can put that on the computer. Cause like strawberry lemonade or like strawberry milk, I feel like would be good. Brrr. Okay, now we can skip through Lotus being like... while I glance at this guide to make sure I'm doing the right thing. Oh.
What are you?
Did... you asking a different question, Junpei?
I'm unemployed at the moment. I used to work for a cybersecurity firm, but I quit.
Is this new or... it is new.
Why?
Lotus blinked.
Huh? Oh, it was just something.
Yeah, she really needs more coverage for her boing boings. She stopped typing for a moment and her face fell.
I see.
That was not an avenue of questioning to be pursued, Junpei realized, and quickly shut his mouth. Lotus's fingers began to move again, and in a few seconds she was back up to speed. As she typed, more letters and symbols that meant nothing to Junpei began to pour across the screen.
Oh, what are you doing now?
I'm going to try and brute force it.
Brute what?
A brute force attack is... well, the short version is that I just attacked the thing head on. The long version?
Without looking up or slowing down, she began to explain.
A brute force attack is one of the simplest ways to break a cipher. It checks every possible combination until it finds the right one. For a complex cipher, it can take a very long time. I'm writing a program that would run an attack like that on its own. It's not the most elegant solution, certainly, but given the circumstances, there isn't much else I can do.
Junpei looks like the Kid McFly. A little bit, yeah. I think it's the combination of a flannel a hoodie without sleeves, and I don't want to say it's a vest, but I don't think windbreaker is correct either. But yeah, I think it's definitely his outfit that's giving the McFly vibes. Even as she talked, her fingers never slowed or missed a key. The brown hair too, yeah. Junpei couldn't help but feel a little odd.
But back to what we were talking about earlier.
What were we talking about?
The wireless display. It's kind of strange if you think about it, isn't it? How do I put it? Well, let's say you write a program that calculates an addition problem for you, all right? So you enter 1 + 1. The screen will show you 2. See? Isn't that strange?
No. Not really.
Isn't it strange that you can make a calculator?
Oh, come on now. Of course a caveman like you would think it was strange. You said so just a minute ago. You're just not getting it, are you? Who calculated 1 + 1?
The main computer, right? You said it connected to the monitor wirelessly.
Yeah, but someone who grew up in a cave wouldn't know that, right? They'd probably think that this thing here, the monitor, is doing the calculating. And once they've decided that, they'll start examining this monitor. They might poke the screen or something. Ah, I see the color changes when I press it here. Then they might investigate the hardware on the inside. Oh, I see. So this wire supplies the power. Eventually, they might even cut the wires. Ah, yes. Just as I expected. When this wire is cut, no results appear. Therefore, it must be this device which does the calculations.
Wow.
But the truth is that, just like you said, the computer is doing the calculating. But these cave people wouldn't know that, because they have no idea that the monitor and the computer are connected wirelessly.
Lotus continued to type as Clover is just sitting there being like, why are they talking about computers? Junpei scratched his head.
So, what are you trying to say?
Nothing, really. It's just, I thought maybe, what if the relationship between human beings and our brains is like that?
Huh?
Well, let's say you stick a bunch of electrodes into parts of the brain. A scientist examining the signals they send out might say, interesting. So stimulating this part of the brain causes the person to see colors. That must mean this neuron cluster controls that function. Okay, let's see what happens when I cut out this part. Ah, just what I thought. Cutting off this part causes that function to cease. Therefore, human thought processes must occur in the human brain. See? Doesn't it sound the same? Maybe the brain is just an output device, like this monitor.
Junpei's just like, Lotus, what are you talking about? I thought we need to save Clover.
Maybe our thought processes actually occur somewhere else, in a main body. We just don't know it. We never even think about it. Just like those cave people wouldn't know about wireless communications. We can't imagine that there's some unknown medium that transfers information into our brains, where we experience that information as thoughts.
Junpei didn't say anything. Not so much because he had no retort. No, her arguments just seemed silly, and he was a little surprised to be hearing something like that from someone like her.
The brain is just an output device. Human thought actually occurs somewhere else.
That's just crazy talk.
Did Lotus really think that, he wondered? It was a little creepy, Junpei thought, and it sounded altogether too much like a bizarre cultist religion.
Maybe that's the cause of Seven's amnesia.
Oblivious to Junpei's increasing discomfort, Lotus continued.
If memory is actually stored somewhere else, in some sort of main body somewhere, maybe he hasn't forgotten anything at all.
Yeah, they just took out the USB stick.
He's just having a difficult time accessing his memories because the monitor, his brain, has been damaged.
Huh.
And I suppose that would explain aphasia and blindsight too. Perhaps they actually can speak or see. The monitor just isn't functioning properly. I guess people with prosopagnosia could be suffering from the same thing.
Wait a minute. What?
He knew what aphasia was from watching medical dramas on TV, and blindsight was easy enough to guess, but he'd never heard the word prosopagnosia before.
What? You've never heard of prosopagnosia?
Lotus spun around in her chair to look at him. Junpei just shrugged and shook his head.
No. What is it?
Well, put simply, it means a condition where the mind can't distinguish between human faces. In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's or even yours, so they can't remember faces, which is how most people recognize each other. That means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to. Usually they can make do by associating people with other things. Their voices, their clothes, their hair.
Does that mean other people's faces look like blanks?
No, I don't think so. Well, you've seen monkeys, like in a zoo, right? To you and me, all the monkey faces look the same, even though they've obviously got faces. It's almost impossible for a human to distinguish between them. The zoo staff that works with them would learn to identify different monkeys eventually, but you or I couldn't unless one had a scar or something else to set it apart. Well, that's how people would be to someone with prosopagnosia.
Prosopagnosia. Huh. I didn't even know that kind of thing existed.
Junpei did his best to act as though the entire lecture hasn't gone completely over his head.
And, what were we talking about?
The idea that your brain is just an output device, like a monitor.
Are you serious about that stuff?
Not really. I was just kidding for about half of it.
What about the other?
For about half of it.
Well, I guess I was just adulting.
Not funny.
Lotus's smile had something rather masochistic to
It's
it.
nothing more than a story I made up out of boredom. Don't take it seriously. It was the first thing that came to mind, and I just talked about it to kill time. But looks like I don't need to talk anymore.
Why?
I don't have to kill time any longer.
As she spoke, Lotus raised her right arm high and brought it down to the enter key.
Oh, then you finished that brute whatever thing?
I certainly did. And let's see what we got.
Chunks of text flickered on and off in quick succession, and a line of numbers appeared, blinked, and disappeared. The screen cleared, and all that was left was the word accepted.
Piece of cake.
Lotus would clearly have patted herself on the back if it would not make her look entirely ridiculous. After a few seconds, the accepted disappeared to be replaced with 9 squares arranged in a 3x3 square.
The screen changed again. What the hell is that?
No idea. Looks like a puzzle.
Suddenly, Lotus stood up.
Huh?
I
Aren't you gonna, I don't know, do more computer stuff?
Okay, this is familiar.
I finished hacking, now you gotta do a puzzle. Alright. Well, I did it. In much quicker time than it did the first time. Now I get to save Clover. With what's in these lockers.
There's more than one key. Okay, so the earth symbol is in there. Is the thing gonna set on fire?
I wanted to ask you something.
What are you gonna ask me, Clover?
Hmm?
Are you gonna ask me for a cookie?
Junpei, you went into door 5 with my brother, right? Did you hear him say, like, anything weird?
Huh?
He was being sassy.
Why is she asking me this? Junpei wondered. The more he thought about it, however, the more it made sense. Snake had been gone for a long time. Clover was quite attached to her brother. Of course she would have been worried about him.
Well, let me think.
He thought back to when he had gone through door 5, hoping he might remember something, even a small something, that would help her. However...
Sorry, Clover. I can't really think of anything. I mean, he did mention that his hearing exceeds that of a regular person, or something like that, but that's about it.
Okay.
Clover's words were barely audible. She nodded vaguely to Junpei and turned to walk away.
Hey, wait a minute.
Hmm?
Look, I don't know if I should ask you things, but if you don't mind, I was hoping you could tell me if, is Snake, was he born?
You're talking about his eyes?
Yeah.
No, he wasn't born blind. When he was a kid, he got in an accident. A really bad car accident. He couldn't see after that. And his arm.
His arm?
Yeah. My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm. It's fake. It's not a real arm. The accident hurt him really bad. To save him, they had to cut off his arm.
Oh.
Is that all you wanted to ask me?
You were the one that asked me in the first place, but okay. Or I guess Junpei was like, was his eyes... Talking about her brother had clearly taken a great deal out of Clover. Junpei nodded.
Look, I'm sorry for making you talk about all that painful stuff.
It's not that.
Clover only shook her head and walked off down the stairs. Okay, so what do we got? We got ethanol and an activation key. What do I do with ethanol? Can I give you some ethanol? Junpei, thank you so much for everything. Wow, what was that about? And also, I'm sorry I messed up. Get out. Okay, yay. I think this is the first time I see a genuine smile. Okay. Oh, right. There's a thing on this table. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's permanent marker. Hey, ethanol works for that. Let me hand it to you. Clover, use the ethanol. Are you gonna wipe in my clothes? I don't know, man. There's a little napkin over there. You can use that. What did you find on the table? I wonder what it is. There's a bunch of numbers and some grid. I can't see it from here. You got a pen and a notebook. Write those down, Roger. And then maybe, I don't know, we're looking through here. Here, Junpei, wrote down the numbers. Huh? I've seen something like this. Whoa. You gonna need this? Maybe. I don't know. Do you want to set the robot on fire? Let's see. Okay. Materials. Maybe this area? Oh, right. Activation key. I'm turning it on. It's full of letters. It's showing. Yeah, okay. So now. Whoops. Now we can have the head explode. This thing is on. Let's play with random dials. Maybe she missed something. I could ask her to look around the room again. Wonder what they washed here. There was a weird color stain all over the sink. It's a rack. There are a bunch of cables on it. Somebody cut the other stuff with the wires. You can see the wires. I can't really see from here, but it looks like a bunch of electrodes. What am I missing? The new AI. Yay, it came out. I need to see if I can get it here soon. There are 2 levers. Do you think they activate something? Why don't you move one and give it a try? Nope, doesn't look like anything happened. The hands on the clock stopped moving. What was the thing that she gave me? Because I don't want to leave. Because you probably... 2, 3, 4. To use that. It's a control for a lock. Gotta be locked. There's a door over here. I'll be right there. Is this door gonna... Nope, it's not gonna open. If you've increased the voltage. Okay. Now it'll explode. I can't zoom. I can't go new. We just have to rapidly click. Get out of there! Get out of there, Clover! Get out of there! Clover, are you okay? Are you hurt? Are you coughing on smoke? Did you almost catch yourself on fire? Okay. Let's skip until something happens. More than likely, they might tell me something here. I don't know. Or wait, no, they might not. Let me look at the flow. Okay. Okay, we're good. So now we go into this room. Somebody better tell me something new in this engine room. Somebody better tell me something new. I guess I can look at the flow chart and see if... Oh wait, it doesn't tell me until I'm done in the room. Ah, okay. Let me just go into the novel section real quick.
Yes! The door's open!
Okay, no, somebody is bound to tell me something here. So I'll do that for the next section too. Although I think I need to actually go through these in general. Okay, so what did we start with here? I forget how we started here. Go through here. Give the sucker a twist. Let's go in there. Looks like the door we came out of or in through. No, I don't want to go back through the door. Okay. Put me back in there. And then through C. We need the handle. So go back through C. Let's go through B this time instead. And then we can take that. You rolled a 20! Nice, Risa! I still need to figure out a thing to do when the 20 goes. Because I wanted it to like give more channel points, but I couldn't figure out a way to actually have that function. So I need to figure out something. 12, that's not too bad. That's definitely a maybe, depending on the roll. How bad I've done worse. Same here. My dice are bullies sometimes. Okay. Okay. It turns to the left. Turns to the left. That's weird that it turns to the left. Oh well, I guess we turn it to the left.
I believe the box has reached the floor.
I believe I'm not here to hear the same thing that you told me the first time.
They stood there for a few more minutes, no one speaking, until Santa turned and walked away from the winch. Junpei and Ace followed him.
You know, speaking of experiments,
Santa suddenly stopped.
there was this experiment some scientists did with rats. First, they took a squarish C-shaped tank and filled it with enough water that the rats could drown in it.
Junpei's just like, why are we talking about this, Santa?
The tank has 2 exits. Just to make it easy, we'll call one A and the other B. Exit A is pitch black, so dark even a rat can't see anything. But exit B is electrified, which means the rat can't leave through it. So, what would a rat do if it was put in this situation? Which exit would the rat choose?
There was a moment of silence after Santa posed the question, and then Ace responded.
B, of course. The rat has no way of knowing that exit B is electrified.
Exactly. The rat goes to exit B. Of course, like I said, it's electrified, which means the rat can't get out that way. So, after a lot of trial and error, the rat finally finds exit A.
I can't say that's very interesting or relevant. It's simply the story of a laboratory experiment.
You're right. It isn't very interesting. Yet. See, these scientists repeated this experiment over and over, using hundreds of different rats over several generations. This produced some surprising results. With each generation, the rats took less time to find the correct exit. Eventually, a rat was put in the tank who instantly chose exit A without even attempting to go to exit B. But that wasn't the most impressive part. The same experiment was conducted in another laboratory, far from the original one, with the same results. No, on second thought, the results weren't really the same. The rats in this second experiment began the trials with significantly faster times than the first rats in the initial one. These rats weren't related to the others and had never even come in contact with them. And yet, they all easily found their way to exit A as though they already knew. What did it mean?
Are you suggesting something like telepathy? They were passing information to one another through some undetectable medium?
Like their cells.
Ace looked skeptical. Santa snorted at him.
How the hell would I know? I'm not any kind of scientist. I don't know what made him do that. But I do know that story's true. And if you've got another explanation, I'd sure love to hear it. Come on, let's get going. There's still a lot here we haven't checked out. And we gotta get the hell out of here before June passes out.
Without waiting for a response, he turned around and started walking. Junpei, however, wasn't quite ready to leave the topic
Hey,
alone.
wait. There's something I want to ask you.
What?
Santa stopped and turned around.
Why did they use that tank for the experiment?
Huh?
Well, I mean, it seems like you could conduct the same experiment without the water. They could have just used a dry box, you know? If they needed to motivate the rats to escape, they could have, I don't know, put some bait by exit B or something. I mean, do they really have to make it so the rats can drown?
Santa gave a grim bark of a laugh.
You know, the word emergency comes from the same root as the word emerge. You ever think about that?
Huh?
Well, an emergency is something urgent, often something dangerous. And to emerge means to sort of come out, or appear, or rise out of something else. So what's going to emerge in an emergency? Inspiration.
Inspiration?
Yeah. Think about it. When the chips are down, either you crack or your mind focuses and pulls up what you need.
That's true.
So in an emergency, your real potential emerges. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. That's why the rats had to drown. They had to be in danger. There had to be an emergency for inspiration to emerge.
Oh.
Man, what a weird situation.
Junpei suddenly felt cold. The back of his head was aching and his stomach felt strange. Okay, I think with that information, now we can go to this room and have somebody else tell us something else.
Because it had the unlocked symbol on there, so now we know about the rats.
Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Please don't let me do the pusher thing again. Okay. There are a bunch of bags here. I wonder what's in them. Wow, it's the ninth man. This is so weird. I hope it's after we unlock all of the little suitcases. Oops, I didn't want to search. Okay, how many do we have? We have 7 of them. So we need 2 more. There's nothing over here. Oh, box. We need 1 more. Whoops, I clicked out of the window on accident. Where? Maybe they're up here. Oops. Trading card game cards. Maybe. Let's see. Some sort of box device. Are they in the barrels? No. Where is the last one? It's locked, we need the key. All the do they? Oh, ace bent down. Cards. Oh, okay. Found the last one.
Now we finally have all 9 picture cards.
Now I can sell them on eBay for an exorbitant amount of money. Oh, just then. Junpei heard a noise. He spun around just in time to see June collapse in front of the fence.
Hey! June, are you okay?
Oh no, you touched the electrified fence! She did not respond. Junpei spun back around to face Ace.
I'm sorry, I gotta go check on her. You finished the box thing, alright?
It's really easy,
Put the cards
Ace.
in the boxes. I'm counting on you.
He shoved the cards into Ace's hands and ran off towards June.
Are you alright? What happened?
Junpei called out to her as he ran.
Can you stand?
As he arrived, June was climbing to her feet with Santa's help.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm fine. I just tripped.
Don't give me that. Now is not the time.
But it's true. I tripped over a box.
Just let me see for a sec.
There is a really tiny box down there, so maybe. Junpei put his palm on her forehead.
You're still warm.
Her temperature was much of the same as it had been the last time he checked. She wasn't hot like she'd been before, but she was still warm. Her fever wasn't completely gone.
I saw her fall. I think she really did just trip on something, you know?
Junpei would have been more willing to agree with if June hadn't needed quite so much help standing up.
Still, to fall down like that, I think she's probably still a little messed up.
June was doing her best to busy herself brushing dust off of her dress. Her smile looked a little embarrassed, and her face was a little bit flushed. But she did look a great deal better than she had. Still...
All right, well, let's just get out of here as fast as we can so we can get you to a hospital.
Oh, I don't think it's anything that serious. I just need a little medicine and some sleep, and I'll be fine.
Medicine. Medicine, huh?
That reminds me of a story that drugs and medicine.
Well, if we could get in touch with anyone outside, I'll bet Ace could swing that for you easy.
Ace? Why?
Huh? Don't you know? He's the president of a pharmaceutical company. Cradle Pharmaceuticals is the name, I think. Their flagship product is an anesthetic drug called Soparil.
Soparil. Soparil. I've heard of that before somewhere.
Junpei couldn't shake the feeling that he had heard about Soparil before. Santa continued.
Soparil. It's an anesthetic that's a gas at room temperature. A lot like how nitrous oxide is. It takes only a few seconds to spread, and even a small amount is very effective. A bunch of countries quickly accepted it for widespread use within their police and military forces. It was an effective crowd suppressant and room clearer. It was practical, ethical, and the humane nature of it made it the ideal drug.
'Cause it's quick, it's clean, it's pure.
It's been around for about 6 years. They developed it from the extracts of several different roots.
It could change your life, rest assured.
It became popular almost as soon as it was made public, with many governments placing large orders. Demand for Soparil skyrocketed, and of course that meant Cradle Pharmaceuticals' stock did too.
Why do you know all of this?
Santa's information was interesting, but Junpei couldn't help but feel a little suspicious. Santa's reply was blunt and simple.
I heard it from the old man himself.
From Ace? When?
By the number 4 door at the central stairway, when we were searching the second-class room. Remember how Snake, 7, and you went to door 5? It was back then. I asked him what he did for a living, and he said he ran his own company. After that, we just started talking, and I guess it just came up.
Huh.
Are you worried about something?
No, nothing.
Totally nothing suspicious.
As he spoke, Junpei looked over towards Ace. He seemed to be having difficulty with the 9 boxes.
What the hell is he doing?
He turned back to June and Santa.
June, don't push yourself, all right?
Yes.
Santa, could you take care of her? I'll go check on Ace. Looks like he's having trouble.
Sure.
He gave them both a short nod, then turned and headed towards Ace.
What are you doing?
Ace's back was to him as Junpei approached. The older man turned around to look at him. His face was pale and covered in sweat.
What happened?
Nothing. My vision has gotten rather blurry, I think, because of fatigue. I can't see very well at the moment.
What can't you see well?
These pictures.
Ace held the cards out to Junpei, splayed out in the shape of a fan.
I don't care to admit it, but I may be developing presbyopia.
Presbyopia?
Growing old is a difficult thing.
He made the best attempt that he could at a self-deprecating smile, but his face was flushed and his lips were pale and drawn.
At any rate, I'll leave the rest to you. I'm feeling awfully tired, so if you don't mind, I'd like to rest for a bit.
He shoved the cards into Junpei's hands and walked quickly away. It's like, I need to inject myself with the thing to pass out. Just carry me when you're done. Junpei looked at him quizzically.
How could simply looking at cards have tired him out?
Junpei looked down at the cards in his hands. All of the pictures were quite clear, and each person was easily recognizable. Was Ace's vision truly so bad?
But if it wasn't, what had made him so uncomfortable?
That was when Junpei remembered what he had heard from Lotus much earlier.
Prosopagnosia. Well, put simply, it means a condition where the mind can't distinguish between human faces. In other words, my face would look the same as Clover's or even yours.
I don't think she said those words. I don't think that's what she said.
So they can't remember faces, which is how most people recognize each other. That means that people with prosopagnosia have trouble recognizing even people they're close to.
Maybe he's got prosopagnosia?
Junpei took another look at Ace. He sat at the base of the stairs, looking quite depressed.
Huh. Well, he looks depressed enough to have it.
What? He looks sad. He must not know faces. If he really did have prosopagnosia, there was no doubt it was a depressing and painful experience. Still, Junpei didn't feel like patting him on the shoulder and telling him everything will be alright would help that much. Still, Junpei felt perhaps it was best he kept Ace's condition to himself, at least for the time being.
Oh well.
Doing his best to clear his mind for the tasks at hand, he turned back towards the boxes.
Time to solve the 9 boxes puzzle.
9 cards with pictures, and 9 boxes. Junpei stared at them for a moment and then began.
Ace's card is in box 1, Snake's is in number 2.
Okay, is this... Okay. We're gonna finish this little bit just in case there's like another thing, but I think... Oops, not item. I think we are good. Okay, so we can just go over here. Leave no one behind. Because we got the information for this one. Why did it go to adventure screen? Give me...
Look, it's...
Give me...
7 and Lotus.
Give me the novel. And then skip. Skip until it gives us the new stuff. Junpei and June ran to the large hospital room together. As quickly as they could, they searched around and under the beds and in the corners.
She's not here.
No, she isn't.
Oh, we're looking for Clover, I think.
Alright, just in case, we should go take a look in the shower room.
Shower room?
That's where her brother is. She might have gone to see him.
June bit her lip. She knew, as Junpei did, that there was only one thing to see in the shower room, and it wasn't pleasant.
We might as well check, right? Let's go.
There was a screwdriver stuck between the door and the frame.
Good. We can still get in.
We should thank Seven later.
Junpei and June slipped through the door and moved down the hallway and stepped into the shower room.
No luck.
Yeah, I don't think she's here.
June's voice was faint, and she placed her hands over her mouth. Her face looked a little green.
The smell is horrible.
The stench of the room was almost unbearable. Is she looking to check the arm? Possibly, because I know in this route we didn't see the dead body. So, yeah. So she's probably doing that. The stench in the room was almost unbearable. It had grown far more unpleasant since their last visit. If Junpei had eaten a lunch, he would have had difficulty retaining it. He wanted to leave the room as soon as possible, but he had to be sure. And the only way to be sure was to check the other side of the divider.
Let's check the back, just to be sure.
June offered no resistance and nodded weakly to Junpei as he headed around the divider. He stopped at the corner and turned his head.
Oh, she's not here.
As he had expected, Clover was nowhere to be seen. The only thing on the other side of the divider was a dead body, lying in a reddish-brown puddle of dry and drying blood.
Snake, just where did your sister go?
Junpei whispered to what once was Snake. He'd asked rhetorically, of course, as there was no way he'd get an answer. He gave a deep sigh.
Such a horrible way to go. The skull shattered, the left arm's hideously twisted. Huh? Wait.
The bright white of the ulna was clearly visible through the remains of the skin and muscle. Bright white. Ulna.
Bones.
The pieces fell into place. Junpei remembered something Clover had told him in the laboratory.
My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm.
Wait, did we do the... Was the laboratory in this path? I can't remember.
The accident hurt him really bad.
Of course. Of course.
Were those? Okay, the accident, yes. Okay, so yeah, when we were... I was thinking of when we were in the other laboratory with Seven.
Why didn't I realize it earlier?
Not when we were with Lotus. Clover had told Junpei that Snake's left arm was prosthetic. But the left arm of the corpse behind the divider was quite clearly a real human arm, or at least it had been once. That meant the corpse.
Jumpy?
Jun's unsure voice at Junpei. Suddenly, strange behavior drew his attention back to her.
Sorry for making you wait. Let's go.
Junpei and Jun headed back towards the large hospital room. They stepped through the door and out of the shower room. Down the hallway they went, searching for Clover in every corner. They had reached the stairs when Seven appeared, breathless and yelling.
Junpei! June! Where were you guys?
He looked pale and his face was drawn. Something terrible had happened. Junpei's breath caught in his throat.
Did something happen?
Seven drew a shaking hand across his face and gulped down a breath of air.
Clover is dead. I found her in the first-class bathroom.
All sound ceased for Junpei. The world was an empty, muffled expanse. Then he began to hear his own breathing. Jun's mouth moved, but he heard nothing. She tried once more, and then her energy was gone, and she collapsed against the wall. He could have helped her, but he didn't, and now she was dead. So he stood there, frozen in place.
Clover. Why? Why did this happen?
He forced his body to move. Each step felt like another nail pounded into his heart. Finally, he was in front of her. He knelt and placed 3 fingers against Clover's neck. No pulse, no breath. But she was still warm, and her eyes were closed peacefully. It would have been easy to think she was asleep. Easy, that is, were it not for the slowly expanding puddle of blood beneath her. He traced its source to her back, a gash just beneath her shoulder blade. Was the weapon a knife, perhaps? If it was a knife, the killer had taken it when they had left. When he closed his eyes, he saw Clover's smile.
Clover.
Her innocent smile. Her energy. He would never see her smile again.
No way.
He could have done something. He could have helped her. His stomach twisted itself into a sickening knot.
Let's get out of here, June.
Junpei lifted a limp June from the floor and carried her from the bathroom.
Are you all right?
It was a foolish question, and he knew it.
Yes, I think so.
Her voice was weak. The fever had gone down, but the emotional scars she'd received were not likely to reduce as quickly, or recede, rather. Junpei laid his hand on her shoulder, and they walked back to the bedroom.
You should get some rest. Here, the bed. Can you sit?
Yes.
She nodded once and stared at the floor. There were 4 others in the room. Ace, Lotus, Santa, and Seven. They all stared at nothing, their faces drawn and tired. After a while, they drifted into the bathroom to see Clover's corpse themselves. Once everyone was back into the bedroom, Junpei walked slowly to the center of it and looked around as the slumped figures gathered there.
Who was the first to find the body?
Me.
Seven spoke from behind Junpei. He turned around. Seven's hand was up.
Why did you come to this room?
To look for Clover. Why else? I found her body in the bathroom. As soon as I did, I ran outside. I got to the top of the stairs by the casino and yelled as loud as I could. Hey, guys! I found her, but it's bad. She's in the bathroom in the first-class cabin. Come quick! Or something like that. Then I went back to the bathroom. Ace, Santa, and Lotus showed up real soon after that. But I guess you two hadn't heard me or something because you didn't show. So I took off down the stairs to look for you. After that, I mean, you know the rest, right?
Junpei nodded and closed his eyes. There was one more thing he needed to ask.
Seven, there's one more thing I'm worried about.
What?
You stuck one of those plates in between the door and the frame, right? Why did you do that?
Come on, didn't I already tell you that? I did it so that the door wouldn't lock. So we could come back to this room? Oh. You think I did it?
Well, I don't know. That kind of depends on what you say, doesn't it?
For crying out loud.
Seven sighed and shook his head.
Follow me.
There were 2 doors standing next to one another. He opened the one on the right.
A closet?
Yeah.
Seven stepped inside. He stood in front of one of the shelves that filled it, and he gestured towards a small box. The box was a small metal cube. He looked at Junpei.
This is the reason. This safe. We couldn't open it when we were getting through this room. I figured there might be something pretty important in it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I figured eventually we might figure out what the numbers are for the safe. And if we did, I didn't want to screw around with door 5 again. So I put the plate in the exit door so we could get back in that way. You get it now?
Yeah.
Junpei nodded and looked at the safe. He grabbed the handle and shook it.
Figured it wouldn't open.
It was as locked as it had been when Seven found it.
Huh?
There was one change, however.
This is...
Just underneath the safe was a pile of fine reddish-brown powder.
Rust.
Junpei stared at it, considering...
If there's rust here, that means... Has someone opened the safe?
Junpei left the closet. Seven followed him back to the bedroom.
Huh?
It was cold and quiet. No one spoke. They sat, frozen in place by shock and grief and fatigue. The room felt tiny and oppressive, and the thick metallic smell of blood filled the room. Junpei turned and headed for the living room. Anything to get out of there.
Maybe there's another clue. Anything that might lead us to discover who stabbed Clover.
As quickly as they could, they searched around and under the beds and in the corners. His eyes caught on the door. The door that led to the passageway of the door number
5.
5.
This door. The 9th man's body is behind there. Maybe I should have another look at it, just in case.
Quietly, he pushed open the door.
Ugh.
The smell hit him like a blow to the face.
Oh, the hell? This smell is...
His lungs contracted, unwilling to inhale such fetid air. Acid boiled up from the base of his stomach, churning what little food was there into a violent froth. Junpei, you didn't need to go that hard on sounding like you're puking. It was too much for him and he vomited. A thin stream of yellow water and bile splattered onto the floor. Ew. He wiped his mouth weakly and stared at the dead body. Chunks of torn flesh lay in an arc around the body. What remained of its intestines had slid out onto the floor. The pool of blood that framed it was half dry, but so thick that it had taken on a texture not unlike that of an egg yolk prepared sunny side up. On the floor, next to the broken mass of the man's head, lay his glasses, cracks spidering across the lenses. The bloodstains near them had already dried, like scabs on the floor.
Wait.
That was when he noticed.
It's gone. His bracelet. It was right next to the glasses.
But now... it was gone. The number 9 bracelet was gone.
But why?
Had someone taken it? He was turning it over and over in his mind when he heard Seven's voice.
Huh? Where'd Junpei go?
It had drifted out of him from the living room. Junpei walked slowly out of the hallway.
Oh, there you are. Were you looking for something in the hallway?
Seven looked up as Junpei entered the room.
Yeah.
Did you find something?
I found something wasn't there? He thought for a moment before he responded.
No, nothing.
Technically, it wasn't a lie. He hadn't found anything. In a way, in fact, that was the problem. Something he'd expected to find hadn't been there. The 9th man's bracelet.
What's up?
Well, I wanted you to take a look at something.
What is it?
Seven led Junpei back to the bathroom.
Clover.
As Clover's corpse came into view, he felt his heart flip and then fall to the bottom of his stomach. Something between a sigh and a groan escaped his lips.
What was it you wanted to show me?
His voice was hollow and empty.
I searched Clover's body again. A real shame. She was stabbed once in the back, probably by a knife or something. And I found this.
As he spoke, he moved around Clover's head. He knelt down and flipped open her right hand.
What?
She was holding a piece of paper.
I haven't actually looked at it yet. Didn't want to disturb the crime scene, you know? Basic stuff. Well, I did borrow one thing.
What?
He wasn't sure what that meant, but it likely didn't matter. The paper was more important.
I'm opening it.
He picked it up and carefully opened it. There were 2 sentences written on it.
Truth had gone, and truth had gone. Ah, now truth is asleep in the darkness of the sinister hand.
What is this? Some kind of secret code?
Seven peered over Junpei's shoulder at the note. Junpei stepped away from Clover's body and into the living room. He began to pace, attempting to decode the note.
A code.
The first clue was likely the phrase sinister hand. Sinister hand means... left hand?
Sinister was a term used in heraldry that meant to the left of the bearer of a coat of arms.
Okay, that wasn't my logic, but sure.
The left hand. The left hand. What does the left hand mean?
Junpei looked at his own left arm, at the bracelet on his
Does
wrist.
the darkness of the sinister hand have something to do with the bracelet?
He examined the bracelet closely.
There's 2 things sticking out on either side of the face. The left and right sides of the face. Left and right. Left and right. Right and left. Truth is gone. Truth gone.
Truth gone. Maybe those 2 words. How about reading it out loud? What else? Switching the sentence around. Reading them backwards. What else could gone and truth mean?
What else could gone and truth mean? Truth, of course, means something that is correct. Something that's fact. In other words, something that is right. You could then safely assume that gone means left. After all, after someone left, they were gone. But in this case, they clearly refer to their directional homonyms. Then truth equals right, and gone equals left.
Junpei looked at the bracelet again.
The left and right of the bracelet. These 2 things sticking out. So if I...
Pressed them in the following order. Truth is gone, and truth is gone, right? Oh gosh, I have to go all the way up here. Because I just want to make sure I went too far, I think. Truth gone, yeah. So, right, left, right, left, right, left. Right, left, right, left, right, left. And then... one after another, 8 numbers flashed on, then off, on the face of Junpei's bracelet.
Wait, did it just...
He checked one more time to be sure. 1, 4, 3, 8. 3, 4, 2, 1.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Huh? Hey, what are those numbers?
Junpei didn't answer. He couldn't answer. He had no idea what they were either. Besides, he was sure that he'd forget the numbers and the order they came in if he said anything.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
Muttering the numbers to himself over and over, Junpei headed towards the bedroom.
1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1. 1, 4, 3, 8, 3, 4, 2, 1.
I hope it's expecting me to memorize this. Before long, he found himself in front of the safe again. Its lock was the only device he could think of that would require a sequence of numbers such as the ones he'd just discovered. Besides, someone had opened the safe at least once already. Had Clover come to the bedroom to open it? Junpei slowly dialed in the number the bracelet had given to him.
1 to the right, 4 to the left, and...
Finished.
Bingo. I knew it was for this.
A small, telltale sound of the lock opening. He grabbed the handle, took a deep breath, and pulled it up.
Oh, is this some sort of note?
Inside was a piece of paper. It was roughly the same size as the one Clover had been holding.
Let's see.
Junpei picked it up. This was what it said. Fact 1. The Nonary game was played once before, 9 years ago. Fact 2. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. Fact 3. It was planned by the following 4 people. Cradle Pharmaceuticals, CEO. Gentaro Hongo. Cradle Pharmaceuticals Chief of Staff. Nagisa Nijisaki. Cradle Pharmaceuticals R&D Supervisor. Teruaki Kuboto. Majority shareholder in Cradle Pharmaceuticals. Kagechika Musashido. I must punish them. For the innocent lives they sacrificed. This is the only warning they will receive. That innocent souls might be saved. I now state the truth. 0. Junpei left the closet. There were 5 people waiting for him in the bedroom. Ace, Lotus, Santa, Seven, and June. He looked at each one of them in turn, then slowly placed his hands into his pockets of his vest.
Sorry, but do you think you could all come with me?
Come with you?
I want all of you to go to the big hospital room.
Why?
There's something I want to be sure of.
What do you want to be sure of?
I want to know if the person I suspect is really the culprit.
Wait, then you're saying...
Yeah, I think I've got it figured out. I know who killed Snake and Clover.
The atmosphere in the room changed. Grief was suddenly gone, replaced by attention like a strap of leather stretched to his limit. 5 sets of eyes stared at Junpei. He pretended not to notice.
Anyway, if you could all please move to the big hospital room. I'll explain everything as soon as we get there.
Then, almost as if on cue, the bell began to ring. They all heard it. It was the bell from the clock in the main staircase. The bell rang 5 times, then ceased.
It's 5 o'clock.
We've only got an hour left.
We don't have a lot of time left. Let's go.
Slowly, one by one, they followed Junpei out of the bedroom.
Actually, before we get started, I was hoping you could do something for me.
Junpei stopped in front of door 3 and turned around.
Ace, Seven, and Lotus, could you please place your palms on the red?
Huh?
Why? If we need to get to the shower room, why don't we just...
No, we're not going inside. Once you've authenticated, step away from the door.
Why?
Please, just do it. Or perhaps you don't want to know who killed Snake and Clover.
Junpei's implication was clear, and Seven understood perfectly.
Fine.
What about you, Ace, Lotus?
Very well.
Sure.
Quickly, they pressed their palm onto the red. Once they had finished, they stepped away from the door, as Junpei had instructed. 3 asterisks shone on the red's display
I
panel.
have this idea. I don't think this device responds to a hand placed on it. It instead reacts to a bracelet being brought close. You don't actually need a hand.
Junpei approached it, and he held his bracelet over the scanner. He made quite sure that he didn't place his palm on it, and instead only brought his bracelet near it. The 4th asterisk appeared.
I knew it.
Just as Junpei had expected. It was possible to authenticate without placing one's palm on the red, so long as the bracelet was brought near it. Junpei pulled the lever down.
Hello, Yuru. How you doing today?
We are getting the... not quite the true end, but like one of the endings before it, I believe.
Door 3 opened like a hungry mouth. 9 long seconds passed. And the door shut, unfed. Junpei walked slowly back to the others, who were waiting some distance from the door, talking to one another. Santa and June had joined them as well.
Huh?
It looked as though they hadn't found a chance to break into the conversation yet. As Junpei approached, they turned to look at him, curiosity plain on their faces. Before long, the other three did as well.
What was that about?
How should I know?
Clearly, they were all expecting some answers.
Thanks. I appreciate your cooperation.
Clearly, they'd hoped for something more forthcoming. He continued.
By the way, Ace, would you mind if I asked you something?
What is it?
Do you know who I am?
What? What kind of question?
Oh, hello!
Joins Junpei, leaves. What? Do you not like Junpei? That isn't a Wiggly. Okay, I wanted to make sure that I didn't sound like I was like, ooh, Junpei, because like, nah.
Just answer it, please. Who am I?
You're Junpei, of course. Who else would you be?
Unfortunately, that's the wrong answer. Actually, I'm Santa.
What?
Ace's voice was full of surprise, but it also tinged with confusion and fear. Everyone else looked nearly as surprised. Santa looked especially shocked to discover he was actually someone else. If he spoke, however, the trap would be exposed. Junpei quickly continued.
The clothes I'm wearing, I borrowed from Junpei. And the clothes he's wearing are mine. We had a little swap.
That's ridiculous. Impossible.
So, you're saying I'm not Santa?
Of course you aren't.
Why? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa?
If you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now. 1 plus 7 plus 8 plus 3 equals 19. 1 plus 9 would be 10. The digital route would be 1. But the 4 of us just opened door 3. You can't possibly be Santa. Your bracelet number isn't 3.
It's 5, right?
No, it's not that.
Then what is it?
Only then, when it was too late, did Ace realize his mistake. He set his jaw and glared at Junpei.
You're exactly right. My bracelet number is 5.
As he spoke, Junpei lifted his wrist up to show everyone the bright red 5 on his wrist. That's blue! That's... The bracelet is red, yes, but the 5 is blue!
Sorry, Ace. I tricked you. Of course I'm not really Santa. I'm Junpei. Who could possibly think I was? It's obvious I'm not. To think I was? Ridiculous. But I guess you couldn't see just how obvious it was. I asked you before, didn't I? What makes you so sure I'm not Santa? And you answered. If you were Santa, then door 3 wouldn't have opened for us just now. Most people wouldn't say something like that. The first thing that would come to anyone else's mind wouldn't be the bracelet number. There'd only be one thing they'd say. One sentence. You don't have his face. Ace, you have prosopagnosia, am I right?
Junpei's voice was quiet and calm. He knew the truth. So did Ace.
Prosopagnosia?
The others looked confused.
What's that?
No clue.
Prosopagnosia is...
He heard Lotus begin to explain it to them. Ace glanced at them, then turned back towards Junpei and sighed.
Very well. I confess. I have prosopagnosia. I cannot differentiate human faces. Is that what this was about? You want to mock me for my disorder?
No, not at all. I'm not making fun of you at all. In fact, I feel kind of bad for you. No, the reason I brought this up is that there's an excellent chance that the person who killed Snake has prosopagnosia.
Ace's face tightened. His eyes narrowed.
What do you mean?
Junpei leaned casually against the iron piping of one of the beds.
I'll just come right out with it. I think it was you, Ace. You killed him.
Junpei was suddenly very aware of 5 pairs of eyes on him. He had their undivided attention now. The room had grown very, very quiet. Junpei took a deep breath.
That's ridiculous. What possible evidence do you...
I have 3 pieces of evidence. The first. Think back to a few hours ago. You made us argue over the 3 doors here in the big hospital room. There was no way all 7 people could go through them. Lotus suggested that we sacrifice one of us.
Lotus looked away awkwardly. Junpei glanced at her and continued.
And you, Ace, said, I'll stay here. Why would you say something like that? It's pretty simple, really. You didn't want us to see the dead body in the shower room. You see, if Ace stayed behind, there were only 2 doors the rest of us could go through. Doors 7 and 8. There was no way we could get through door 3, the shower room. You knew that, didn't you, Ace? That's why you volunteered to stay behind.
Come on now, I think that's going a bit far. I can understand if you're jealous of my bravery, but please don't devalue my actions. I only wanted to save the rest of you. Surely you can understand my altruism.
Altruism, huh?
Junpei stared off into the darkness at something very interesting and lazily began to dig a persistent bit of wax out of his ear.
You already knew, didn't you? You knew that whichever doors we took, eventually we'd end up back in the big hospital room.
What on earth are you saying? Of course I didn't know that. How could I have?
Really?
Yes.
Pleading was not something they'd heard from Ace before. Junpei pulled out a piece of wax from his ear, glancing at it, and flicked it off into the darkness.
Oh well, that's cool. I've still got 2 more pieces of evidence that say you're the killer. The second is that, as I said earlier, you have prosopagnosia.
Then you mean to imply that a person who can't distinguish human faces must be a bad person? Junpei, they call that prejudice.
No, I am not that stupid.
Then why?
Well, before I explain, I suppose there's something I should tell you. The corpse in the shower room. It's not Snake's.
What?
Ace's face went pale. The others looked confused as well. If the body wasn't
I didn't put
Snake's...
it together right away, but there was something Clover told me. She said that Snake's left arm was prosthetic. He'd lost his real arm in an accident, but the body we saw in the shower room, let's call him Guy X. Guy X's left arm was definitely flesh and blood. In other words, Guy X couldn't possibly have been Snake.
Oh God. No. That's impossible.
Then who did I kill? Ace had started muttering deliriously to himself, shaking his head back and forth. Junpei was long past caring.
Let's say, hypothetically, that the killer didn't have prosopagnosia. If that were the case, he would immediately realize that Guy X wasn't Snake. Even if the clothes were the same as Snake's, their faces would be completely different. It would have been obvious they were different people. And yet, they still killed him. Why? Why would they kill a stranger who'd only just shown up? On the other hand, if the killer did have prosopagnosia, it makes sense. They thought Guy X was Snake and killed him.
Wait just a moment. Let's say you're right, and I mistook Guy X for Snake. Even if I did, I would have had no motive to kill him.
Unless...
Why would I want to kill Snake?
I can think of at least 2 motives. 1, Snake knew about your past. If he ever revealed what he knew, that would have been really bad for you. You really didn't want that to happen. So to make sure Snake's mouth stayed shut, you killed him. 2, Snake had a grudge against you. You knew that. Or at least you could have easily assumed he did. Even without exposing your identity, he was a threat to you. You never knew when you might be attacked. You couldn't ever let your guard down. Every moment was a moment he might try something. You didn't want that kind of danger hanging over you. So you...
Hey, hold on a minute.
For the first time since the beginning of Junpei's explanation, someone besides Ace spoke.
What's the past that Ace wouldn't want us to know? Why did Snake have a grudge against him?
Look at this.
He handed Santa a small piece of paper.
What's this piece of paper?
Santa squinted at the paper and began to read.
The nonary game was played once before 9 years ago. The person with the number 2 bracelet attended the game 9 years ago. It was planned by the following 4 people. Cradle Pharmaceuticals CEO Gentaro Hongo. What is this?
Slowly, Santa looked up from the paper. His eyes met
It's the
Junpei's.
message from Zero. It was in the safe in the first class cabin.
Then, suddenly,
Give me a break!
Ace's face was red and shaking, and his voice was full of fury, tinged with desperation.
That paper is a lie! Someone is trying to frame me!
Me. You said me, right?
Caught you right there. I'm still curious on what Mal meant by the joins Junpei leaves. I'm very curious. Junpei's eyes narrowed and the trap began to close. Ace inhaled sharply, and his eyes flickered off of Junpei to anything else.
Doesn't that mean you're admitting you're Hongo, the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceuticals? Or am I mistaken?
It was as though a switch had been flipped. The color drained from Ace's face, and as he realized what he had done, his eyes went wide.
Very well. I admit that much. I am certainly the CEO of Cradle Pharmaceutical, Gentaro Hongo. So what if I am? I don't know anything about this nonary game that supposedly took place 9 years ago. Everything on that scrap of paper is bullshit. Someone is trying to set me up, you see? First of all...
Ace stammered as he tried desperately to work himself into a more tenable position.
Junpei, you're claiming I did this all by myself. Think that over, all right? How could I have killed Snake all by myself?
Not Snake. It was Guy X.
I don't care who it was. You said the killer put this other man into door 3, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Then I couldn't have possibly done that alone. I couldn't have opened door 3 with only myself and Guy X.
Nope. You could have.
Huh? Huh?
What?
Ace's face was tight and his teeth were clenched. Junpei fixed him with a level stare. The trap was about to close.
Actually, Ace, when you were unconscious, I took something from you. Remember when you were injected with that anesthetic and fell asleep in the big hospital room? Yeah, back then, I took this.
Junpei put his hand into his pocket.
No! You couldn't have!
Ace's right hand moved. Junpei smiled.
I got you, Ace. Your right hand there tells me all I needed to know.
Wow. Junpei playing level 100 mind games.
You want to tell me what you were so worried about? What's in your pocket? It's the number 9 bracelet, isn't it? Ace, Guy X, and the 9th man's bracelet. That was all you needed to open door 3.
1 + 2 + 9 = 12, which makes 1 + 2 = 3.
That's how you killed Guy X all by yourself, Ace. All you needed was the number 9 bracelet in your chest pocket.
Ace lowered his hand from where it had stopped, halfway to his pocket. He looked down at the floor, his face hidden from Junpei. All he could see was the corner of Ace's mouth, twitching like a dying fish.
If you want to play innocent, that's fine by me. Go ahead, tell me. I don't have the bracelet, if that's what you want to do. But if you could take off your coat and hand it to me, I'd really appreciate it. Otherwise, we'll have to take it from you by force. Right, Seven?
Yeah, it'd be my pleasure.
Seven cracked his knuckles with a sound like gunfire. Not that bad of a laugh. I think the text implied that it was like, but he just did the second half. But that's okay. That's okay. 4D chess move there, right? Ace roared with laughter. He threw his arms wide and his head back and laughed, filling the room with a sound that scarcely belonged there. Then it stopped. His arms came down, and his head dropped to look straight ahead at Junpei. His face was flat and cold, devoid of any emotion.
Well done, Junpei. As you so correctly deduced, I have the number 9 bracelet. I retrieved it while we were searching for the missing hardware for the red. I left the room I was supposed to search and headed to the first-class cabin on B deck.
His voice showed no emotion, no sense of remorse or interest. It was almost bored, as though he were reciting an especially dull corporate letter.
My purpose was to obtain the number 9 bracelet.
Can't find it. I'm thinking I'm gonna set up the stream tonight. I'm excited. If you're streaming by the time I end, I will absolutely raid you. But are you gonna be playing Layers of Fear? My purpose was to, he said
9
that.
is a potent ally in the nonary game. Adding 9 to any set of numbers won't alter the digital root.
1 + 9 = 10. 1 + 0 = 1. 2 + 9 = 11. 1 + 1 = 2. 3 + 9 = 12. 1 + 2 = 3.
As you can see, 9 is a very useful number here.
Yes, because I'm really craving it. Yeah. Like, are you gonna redo chapter 1 or are you going on to chapter 2? Because I remember you were like kind of feeling wishy-washy about how the first chapter went.
With it, one can go anywhere, with anyone. It is, I suppose you could say, a game changer.
A get-out-of-jail-free card.
So I made for the first-class cabin to obtain it. In mere moments, I successfully acquired the number 9 bracelet. There was also an unexpected bonus. The knife the 9th man had used.
I think since it's been a while, I'm gonna redo chapter 1 and do chapter 2.
Yeah. Like I said, I will raid you if you have started by the time I'm done.
I quickly pocketed both of them and left. I made my way back to where I was expected to be.
What game? She's gonna be playing Layers of Fear. Nice little spoopy game.
That's when I ran into Snake. Well, this guy X, actually. I spotted him ahead of me. He was heading for the large hospital room and hadn't noticed me. The man wearing Snake's clothes arrived at door 3. When he stopped, I walked up behind him and called out, "Snake."
Oh, thank you for the hydrate.
He turned around. He said nothing. His mouth simply hung half open.
That's an interesting hairdo. Big stretch. Don't worry about it. Okay, at least it wasn't anything. Actually, everything that I knocked down didn't fall too far, so we're good.
He seemed dazed somehow, almost like a man half asleep. Perhaps he had been drugged. It wasn't important. I tend to gloss over little things like that. I was certain that man was Snake. I knew Snake had taken part in the nonary game 9 years ago. Being blind, it made sense that he didn't recognize me immediately upon our first meeting. But why then hadn't Snake said anything to me later? Surely he hadn't forgotten what had happened to him in the nonary game. But not once did he attempt to confront me. Did his lack of sight prevent him from fully recognizing who I was? Or perhaps Snake had conspired with Zero to deceive me? Regardless, he was a threat, and it was better to deal with him sooner rather than later. I had to get rid of him before he took action. With quick thinking, my plan went into motion immediately. I held the number 9 bracelet over the red. I waved my own bracelet in front of the red, and then grabbed Snake's arm and shoved his hand against the scanner panel. The door opened. I threw the man through it. 9 seconds later, the door shut.
It is a mystery, like, who was this man's? Why were they on this boat? They probably explain it later, but I'm just like, who is this man? Why were they here? Why were they wearing Snake's clothes?
81 seconds passed.
The man inside the door passed away. Oh no, you clipped me back in the stuff. I'll have to see if it actually caught noise of things falling. It probably did. My mic is very sensitive.
After that, I returned to my post as though nothing had happened. After conducting my own search, I returned to the large hospital room when the 1 a.m. bell rang.
It did. Ah. Well, still, at the very least, nothing fell too far. Ace's eyes were cold and his cheeks were hollow and pallid. When he spoke, only his lips and tongue moved. The rest of his face was eerily still. Junpei glared at Ace. He took a deep breath and thought about the next question he had to ask. He didn't want to. He knew what the answer would be. He just didn't want to hear it. Junpei swallowed, then spoke.
Ace, did you kill Clover?
Yes.
Why? Why did you kill her?
She was Snake's sister. It was possible he had told her something dangerous.
Real question though, where's the actual Snake? That will be revealed in probably not this ending, but in the other ending, probably.
Additionally, she had gone through door 1. It seemed likely she might have found it.
Found what?
Why don't you go through door 1 yourself? Perhaps it's hidden somewhere.
Huh? What? Oh my gosh, my face. Just something about it is really cute.
Like my snoot is bigger and I'm doing like a little half like it was very cute.
Yeah, but Lotus and I went through door 1 too.
We didn't see anything suspicious.
Yes. I thought as much after I heard your report at the central stairs. I doubt the two of you could find it.
Hmm?
Huh?
But perhaps Clover was different. Perhaps she had found it. I was, therefore, desperate to find her. And at last I did, in the first-class cabin. I spoke very calmly. Did you see it?
See what?
Don't act as if you don't understand. You were in the captain's quarters, weren't you?
Uh-huh. What are you talking about?
Very well.
Wow, you just kind of confessed to your crime there, Ace.
By the way, what are you doing here, Clover?
What? Nothing.
There's blood on your shoes. It looks fresh. Did you go take a look at the ninth man's corpse?
Have fun lurking, Lisa.
I see. Your silence suggests that you noticed. You saw something, didn't you? You saw that his bracelet was gone.
No!
Clover ran. She made for the exit, but Ace stood in her way.
You aren't going anywhere.
He caught her by the collar as she passed, and he threw her to the floor, hard.
You're staying here.
No!
She leapt back up and darted past him into the hallway. Ace followed at a run.
Don't you run, little girl.
He was faster.
That was how I killed Clover.
His face hadn't changed. He felt guilt, or if he felt guilt or remorse, or anything one might feel after taking the life of another human being, it didn't show.
You son of a bitch!
Seven's whole body trembled with rage, and his voice rumbled with hate. Santa's eyes were bloodthirsty, and Lotus and June's faces were distorted by anger and hatred. Ace looked at them and smiled. It was a cold, cruel thing with no humor in it. He shook his head and sighed.
I admit it. I've lost. I have lost. Completely and utterly. Don't misunderstand, Junpei. I didn't lose to you. I lost to Zero. Not you. I'm rather disgusted with myself for falling into such a simple trap. I looked the fool. And it was a trap. Make no mistake. I was trapped and manipulated by Zero.
Zero was the one that told me to kill Snake.
The man I killed in the shower room? If he wasn't Snake, then I have no idea who he was. But he was wearing Snake's clothes. And that was no coincidence. He had also been injected with something that reduced his cognition and prevented him from identifying himself or resisting me. And we can't forget the components that were removed from the red before we arrived. I have no doubt that Zero planned all of this. Zero made sure I would kill that man. It follows, of course, that Zero knew everything I would do. That I would try to take the number 9 bracelet. That I would try to kill Snake.
Suddenly, Junpei remembered the paper he'd found in the safe. He remembered the last words Zero had written on it. I must punish them, for the innocent lives they sacrificed. This is the only warning they will receive. That innocent souls might be saved. I now state the truth. Zero. And then he remembered other words he'd heard from Clover.
I think Zero is one of us.
One by one, Junpei looked at the 5 people standing in front of him. Ace, Santa, June, Seven, Lotus.
Zero is one of us? No. Wait. There's one more person.
Okay, sadly I need to wait until dinner is ready, which might not be for a bit, but I will stream tonight. Okay. I will more than likely host ya.
Snake. The man who died in the shower room isn't Snake. That means he's almost certainly still alive. Maybe Snake is Zero. Maybe he made Guy X wear his clothes so that we'd all think he was Ted. Where's Snake now? What if he's off somewhere laughing at us?
Don't know if I will get on by the time you get on.
Oh, yeah, host.
Maybe I'm Zero and I just don't know it yet. Maybe Zero was all the friends that we made along the way.
If he is Zero, he must have been lying to us about everything else. Is he watching us?
Well, I believe I've finished with my confession. Why don't we get moving?
We don't know what Zero looks like. We could be Zero. That's true. We could be Zero and just selective amnesia. He sounded as if he had just finished doing nothing more exciting than describing the weather. For Santa, it was the last straw.
What the hell is this shit? You aren't going anywhere, you son of a bitch! We're gonna leave your ass here to rot!
Beat him up!
Because I killed Clover?
Beat him up!
That's ridiculous. Why are you so upset that I killed the little bitch?
Tear him in half, Santa.
She was nothing to you. A stranger you only met a few hours ago. Am I wrong? You bastard!
Get him! Get him! Punch him in the face! Rip his legs off!
Yeah, homeboy's name is Santa. Yeah. Seven roared and lifted a fist that would likely have shattered Ace's jaw, but someone else was faster. Get him, Lotus! She stepped towards Ace, raised a fist on her own, and drove it straight into his nose.
Blindsiding me with a punch, huh? You've got some fire, don't you?
You hit him again!
I confess, I rather like a tough woman.
Punch him in the... He sniffled and wiped a small trickle of blood from his nose with a raised eyebrow.
Well, maybe you'd like another one then.
Before that, let me give you one of my own.
Huh?
Lotus scarcely had time to blink. Ace snaked his arm around her and pulled Lotus's back up against him. In the same motion, he reached into his coat pocket. It was a gun. The revolver. Almost lazily, he tilted it to point at Lotus's head.
If any of you so much as blink, I won't hesitate to pull this trigger. I've already killed 3 people. Don't think I'm not ready to make it 4.
3 people? What do you mean?
Very well. Let me take this opportunity to illuminate you. The person who killed the 9th man was me. Although I suppose to be more accurate, I encouraged him to get himself killed. While we were examining the main staircase, he came to me and told me his name. I recognized it at once. So I gave him a little push. It seems the settings for the dead were altered. Now it only requires a single person to deactivate the detonator in the bracelet. Investigate what's beyond door 5. We'll meet again later. And with that...
Okay. Have a good one, guys. I'm going off ahead now. Well then. Why is it stopping? God damn it! You lied! Open the door, please! I'm begging you! Help me! Please get me out of here! Get me out of here! Oh my god! There's no time left! Listen! I was lied to! He lied to me! He put me in here! It was him! He killed me! It was him! Ah!
I had 4 reasons for killing him.
1.
As I said before, in the nonary game, the number 9 bracelet is of utmost importance. If I had allowed him to keep such a useful tool, he, or it, would have become a threat to me. As such, I decided that he should be eliminated early on.
2.
I wanted the number 9 bracelet. If I could manage to obtain it, I would be able to manipulate the game as I saw fit. I would be unable to acquire the bracelet unless its owner was dead. That's the second reason.
Number 3.
Even setting aside his number, he would have been nothing but trouble for me. He was aware of my past. He knew what happened here 9 years ago. It was important that I eliminate him before he was able to disseminate this information.
Number 4.
Lastly, I wished to conduct a simple test. A test to see if this nonary game was serious, or a poor attempt at a joke. I needed to be quite sure. As such, I encouraged him to act against the rules so that I might observe the outcome.
Junpei glared at him.
I don't get your third motive. What the hell happened 9 years ago?
Didn't I say? The nonary game was played. I planned it out, and I conducted its execution.
Why? What on earth was it supposed to do?
I don't really think I have any obligation to tell you that.
Ace smirked. He was trying to provoke them, and it was working. Although Ace had paid very little attention to Lotus after catching her, the gun had never wavered from her temple. She looked quite pale, and when she spoke, her voice shook.
Hey, what's with this gun? Where did he get this?
Why don't you tell her, Santa?
Santa ground his teeth and glared at Ace.
The other side of door 6, we found the gun in the coffin in the cargo room, right? The bastard must have grabbed it when we weren't looking.
Indeed I did. That was a pretty serious mistake, you know. Just saying you intended to leave it behind.
Ace laughed, a short, derisive snort, and gave Junpei a sickeningly pitying look.
Well, there isn't much time left. I'll be off then.
Well, where are you going?
Do I really need to explain? I had assumed it would be obvious. I have the number 9 bracelet, and now I have Lotus.
9 plus 8 plus 1 equals 18, which makes 9.
Wasn't there a door with a 9 on it in the room that looked like a church? That's where you're going, isn't it?
And how do you know that?
Santa told me about it while we were looking for Clover.
I see. Well, you are correct. That is my destination. But now I must say goodbye to all of you. Ah, and please, don't forget my warning. Move and I'll pull the trigger. I don't need her alive to open the door, you know.
As he spoke, Ace began backing towards the door, practically dragging Lotus behind him.
Shit! He's getting away!
We can't risk it.
Junpei, Santa, June, and Seven stood, frozen. Ace had the face of a man gone mad. They had no doubt he would pull the trigger. Ace had reached the exit.
Now, Lotus, open the door for me if you would.
He forced Lotus to open it, then turned and addressed them once more.
Goodbye.
Then he stepped through the door. It fell shut. In the blink of an eye, they were gone.
Damn it!
As soon as Ace and Lotus were gone, Junpei and the others leapt for the door in pursuit of Ace. But as Junpei laid his hand on the doorknob, there was a noise behind him. He looked over his shoulder. June was kneeling on the floor, breathing heavily.
June, what happened? Are you all right?
Santa ran to June and wrapped his arm around her before she could collapse all the way.
Jesus, you're burning up. Your fever's back. Are you okay?
June's fever had returned, again, for no apparent reason. Her eyes were watery and her eyelids drooped. Her breath came in dry, shallow gasps.
I'm okay. Really, I'm fine. You should be worrying about Lotus.
She was breathing hard now, and she could barely summon the strength to talk.
But
Junpei was torn. He couldn't leave June alone in the state that she was in. But every moment they waited, Ace was farther away. Lotus's life was in his hands. What was Junpei supposed to do? June's eyes drifted to Junpei's. She managed to muster a weak smile.
Don't worry about me. I just need a little rest. I'll be fine. Don't you remember? I just needed to rest a little bit last time. So please, please save Lotus.
Think about what Ace has already done, Junpei. When he's got what he needs from Lotus, you really think he's just gonna let her walk away?
Damn it. You guys go on ahead. Soon as June starts feeling better, we'll follow you. Go!
Junpei looked at June. She nodded once. She couldn't manage much more. But it was all the confirmation Junpei needed. His resolve was set.
All right, come on, Seven. We're going after Ace.
Hell yeah!
Get him!
Santa, you take good care of June. I'm trusting you. Got it.
Santa nodded. Junpei turned before he had a chance to change his mind and started running towards the door. He could hear Seven's heavy footsteps behind him.
Let's go!
Junpei and Seven exploded into the hallway, their feet pounding the metal door as they ran. Or floor, rather. Junpei and Seven had finally reached the church, exhausted and out of breath. As their lungs struggled to catch their breath, their eyes frantically scanned the room.
Where are they?
I don't see them.
You think they already went through?
Probably. He reached up to wipe the palm full of sweat from his brow.
Maybe.
Even as he spoke, Junpei was already on his way to the larger of the number 9 doors.
Let's check the red.
The display panel read vacant. He spun around and headed towards the smaller door. This red would tell him if Ace and Lotus had moved to another room.
Engaged. It's occupied.
That means Ace and Lotus went through here.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Junpei and Seven stepped away from the door. They retreated to the center of the room and began to talk.
What do we do now?
Yeah, what should we do? Well, the big door is still vacant, but...
The two of us can't do anything with it.
Yeah, not even counting how our digital route isn't 9.
Just then, as they pondered what to do next, there was a noise. A noise like someone hitting a thick wooden panel.
What's that sound?
Junpei looked up, surprised. Seven followed suit, his eyes jumping around the room, looking for a source of the sound.
It's coming from over there.
It wasn't long before they found the altar. Or, more precisely, what was on it.
The coffin.
Yeah.
Let's open it.
How?
Someone got stuffed in the wall. No, in a coffin. And they locked it.
By force!
I don't think that's gonna happen.
Well, you never know till you try, right? The only necessity for success is the willingness to suffer 1,000 failures.
That's actually a good saying. That's not a bad quote.
Who said that?
I forget. Anyway, we've got to try.
Junpei and Seven leapt at the coffin. They grabbed hold of what purchase they could find and pulled.
Damn it!
See? Didn't I tell you? If you could just pull it open, why would it have something like that?
Seven pointed at the keypad on the side of the coffin.
Right. So unless I put in the right passcode, it's not gonna open.
Thought we were getting some immerment? Immerment? What is immerment? The noise hadn't stopped. In fact, as it continued, it had only gotten louder and more forceful. What were they supposed to do, Junpei
Is
wondered.
there some sort of clue somewhere?
They stood there for a few moments, staring at the coffin, and then Seven spoke.
Hey, Junpei. I remember you mumbling about some weird numbers over by the bathroom in the first-class cabin. You got those numbers by solving the secret message Clover was holding, right? Truth had gone, or something like that.
Yeah, that's right. What about it?
Getting enclosed in walls while alive. Oh, I see. Yeah, thankfully we're not getting smooshed.
Well, maybe that number's the passcode for this thing, too.
Come on, that's impossible. Those numbers were the code to unlock that safe.
Yeah, but the person who set up that safe in this coffin is the same person, right? Zero set up both of these.
Yeah, probably.
Well, then they might have set the same passcode for both of them.
That's ridiculous.
Why don't you just try it? I mean, it's not like you'll make things any worse.
Right?
It'd just be a waste of time. There's no way they're the same number.
Junpei, it's a waste of time to argue about this.
How do you know that? You never know until you try. The only necessity for success is the willingness to suffer 1,000 failures.
Who said that?
You.
Fine.
He knelt down in front of the keypad and looked at it. Perhaps because he'd repeated them so many times before, the numbers came easily to Junpei's mind.
1438 3421.
Right, we're desperate here. Let's try everything. Quickly, he typed them in. 1438 3421. He checked that he'd entered the right numbers, took a deep breath, and pressed the E button. It only took a moment.
What? You gotta be kidding me.
There was a click. and with a heavy clunk, the lid of the coffin slid off onto the floor. Someone sat up from inside.
Snake!
Da 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 da!
You? Why? Ah, those voices. Junpei and Seven, unless I'm mistaken. Where are the others? Are they elsewhere?
Of course, there was no reason Snake would have known anything about where anyone else would be. Junpei and Seven looked at one another. There was a great deal he needed to know, but they had to tell him something, however, so they began to talk. Snake explained to them how he came to be locked in the coffin. Apparently, he'd been hit with some sort of knockout gas, and Junpei and Seven explained what had happened to the rest of them.
I see. I believe I got the gist of everything. Have I been sufficiently caught up?
No, there was one thing they kept from him. There was one thing, however, that neither Seven nor Junpei could bring themselves to say. That Ace had killed Clover. They feared that if Snake knew, he might well go insane. They decided as much by a look the moment Snake had climbed out of the coffin.
That still doesn't explain why you were trapped in here.
We've still got no clue about Zero's true identity, let alone why the hell he's doing all this. Why did he put Guy X in Snake's clothes? Is all this stuff somehow related to that notary game that was played 9 years ago?
Hey, Snake, do you know anything?
Junpei put the question to Snake. His answer was less than illuminating.
What are you talking about? I apologize, but I have no idea what you're saying.
I've been asleep in a coffin for like 5 hours. It seemed as though Snake was perhaps not being entirely honest, but that knowledge did Junpei and Seven little good.
Oh, come on, just tell us if you know.
I don't know what to tell you. How can I know something I don't?
No matter how many times they asked, he insisted that he knew nothing. It was becoming clear that Snake wouldn't give in, and every second they spent asking him was a second wasted.
Bad. We're running out of time.
We need to go after Ace.
However, let's see, the digital route 7, 13, so that would only be 4. They wouldn't be able to go with themselves. They stood in silence, the overpowering atmosphere of the chapel almost stifling. Junpei, Seven, and Snake simply stood, at a loss for what they should do next.
What do we do now?
He glanced over at Snake's wrist. Sure enough, he could see the 2 on the bracelet on Snake's wrist.
The 3 of us can't make a digital route of 9.
Yeah, we just get 5.
That's the number I came across, right? I think I might have done it wrong, but I don't know. It was still not 9.
We're stuck here then.
Oh, hey, I just remembered something.
Seven began patting his pockets, as if he were checking to see if any of them held anything.
What? What is it?
I found something earlier.
What did you find?
This.
A gun. He finally found the pocket he wanted, and his hand dove into it. Seven pulled out something round and metal. A bracelet. There was no mistaking the number glowing at them from the face like a cartoon eye.
0. Zero's bracelet.
I love the details on the watch, like the little scuffs. It's a nice touch.
What did you say? Are you saying that 7 has the number 0 bracelet?
Yeah.
Where did you get that?
Snake's question was innocent enough, but if he learned the truth, if he'd been able to see, he would have noticed 7 look away.
Clover gave it to me.
Right? He does have pockets for days. He does have, like, overalls, and his jacket probably has pockets, too.
She did?
He's got a plethora of pockets.
Yeah.
How did she come by it?
Well, she found it. See, on the other side of door 1, A deck, the captain's quarters. She asked me to hold on to it because it was too big and bulky for her to be lugging around.
He's lying.
Junpei could tell right away that 7 wasn't telling the truth.
He even told us earlier.
I haven't actually looked at it yet. Didn't want to disturb the crime scene, you know? Basic stuff. Well, I did borrow one thing.
He probably said that so Snake doesn't find out about Clover.
All right, Junpei. Been nice knowing you.
Wait, what?
7 plus 2 plus 0 equals 9.
Man, I'm just kidding. Still, just in case, I want to make sure the 0 bracelet gets picked up by the red. Snake, give me a hand, all right?
Without waiting for a response, he started walking towards the door. Junpei and Snake followed him, quietly. Before long, they found themselves in front of the larger of the two doors. Seven and Snake put their palms on the red. Once they had done that, Seven put the number 0 bracelet in the scanner panel as well. The third asterisk appeared on the screen. 7 plus 2 plus 0 equals 9. Now they just needed to pull the lever and the door would open.
Why isn't it opening?
Well, the third asterisk lit up, so it must have registered the 0 bracelet.
Maybe it isn't actually 0.
Huh?
What?
That bracelet may not actually produce the number 0 when scanned. That is what I'm saying. Why don't we try a few different combinations? Perhaps we can determine what number that bracelet actually contains.
Oh, got it!
Junpei nodded. They decided to use the following combination. Ooh. Maybe all of them? No. So 2, 5, 6. So that would be implying the bracelet would be 3 if we did the first one. The second one, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. That would be implying the 0 would be a huge number. So yeah, and the 14, 5, 8, 9. Let's just have all of them.
Let's try all 3 of us and the bracelet.
Cause why not? Snake plus Junpei plus 7 equals 2 plus 5 plus 7 equals 14. 1 plus 4 equals
If
5.
this combination works, then the number for this bracelet is 4.
It didn't open.
Then this bracelet is not 4.
Then
Junpei continued. They decided to use the following combination.
let's try me, 7, and the bracelet.
Junpei plus 7 is 5 plus 7 equals 12, which is 3.
If this combination works, then the number for this bracelet is 6.
They scanned in their bracelets.
It opened.
Yes, so it would seem.
7 clearly hadn't thought their experiment would produce anything useful, and looked rather confused. Snake was, as usual, calm and smug. The door slid closed. Junpei's forehead furrowed as he thought.
That means the bracelet is actually 6.
5 plus 7 plus 6 equals 18, which is 9.
But how is that possible? The display on the bracelet clearly shows a 0.
Suddenly, from somewhere far beneath them, they heard the creak and groan of tearing metal. With it came the sound of water pouring into parts of the ship that had, until recently, been dry.
Oh man, that's not good. I guess our time's just about up, huh?
At any rate, we know now that the door can be opened. Let's go!
But, Snake, are you sure?
Yeah. You know that only Junpei and I can go through this way.
You needn't worry. I have a solution to this problem. My last resort. But if now is not the time for last resorts, then when?
Last?
Resort?
I'm just going to go back in the coffin again, and I'll just float to the top. There's some air in there. I won't drown. It'll be fine. Junpei, 7, and Snake ran full tilt down a long, straight hallway. They were headed for the stern of the ship and had no time for distractions. As they ran, 7 spoke.
Gotta admit, you really surprised me there, kid. I couldn't figure out how the hell you were gonna get out of that one.
Big thunder? You having a thunderstorm? I'm jealous.
Oh, when they talked about the ship being broken. And I thought it was the game. Oh no! I'm jealous, I want some thunder. It scared my dog and I was like, oh no.
How come you didn't do that right off the bat?
I would love for it to rain and storm.
As I told you, it was a last resort. Had I used it at the beginning of the game, I would have come under a great deal of suspicion. I imagine that most people would have taken it to mean that I was Zero. Once they'd convinced themselves of that, I wasn't optimistic about my chances of making it out of here alive, let alone unscathed. I felt it best to play my cards close to the chest, as it were. That way, if I were in a situation where there was nothing else I could do, I'd have a little trick up my sleeve. I'd just take my bracelet off.
Snake's plan had been simple but effective. He had simply removed his bracelet. How? To Junpei, it looked as though Snake had simply crushed the bones of his hand until they were small enough to fit through the wristband. Of course, that would have been practically impossible. So, how had he done it?
My brother's left arm is, it's not like a normal person's arm. It's fake. It's not a real arm.
Snake had slid the bracelet off and tossed it into the coffin.
I know this is kind of a weird thing to say, but I'm glad that's a fake arm.
You don't have to be afraid of the door if you don't got a bracelet.
You are correct.
He walked through the door easily without authenticating. He stepped out at the other side, unscathed, and began running down the hall alongside Seven and Junpei. They kept running for a long while longer, and eventually came upon a set of stairs leading downward on the right side of the hallway. They stopped and peered down the
I
staircase.
think these stairs connect to the bottom deck.
Doesn't look like it's underwater.
They nodded quickly to one another and jogged down the stairs. It took only a few minutes to make their way to the bottom deck. There was a single hallway in front of them, and at the end of which was a single door.
Let's go through that door.
Junpei threw it open. Inside was a massive iron gate. A plate was affixed on the top of it. It read, Incinerator.
Incinerator?
Oh my. That doesn't sound very pleasant. Do you see a lever near the gate, perhaps?
Yeah, right over here.
How did you know that?
Well, I'd be happy to regale you with the story. I imagine it should only take half a day or so.
Oh my god. Just half a day and then a sprinkle of trauma. You know. Junpei grumbled, gave Snake a dirty look, and jogged over to the lever.
If you pull it, the door ought to open.
Got it.
He pulled the lever down. With a rumble of the ancient motor, the door opened. There was no need to hold back, and no time to hesitate. They pushed their way inside. Snake is in for some trauma once they tell him his sister is dead. Yeah, but I mean, you know, he was part of the nonary game 9 years ago, so he already has some. Standing in front of them were Ace and Lotus. Ace still held the revolver in his hand. It was still pressed hard against Lotus's temple. A small dark bruise had begun to form near the tip. Even from several yards away, Junpei could see that Lotus was shaking. She was terrified. But perhaps more interesting was that what Junpei saw behind them. 9. Another number 9 door.
Why? Why is there another one?
The door stopped Junpei in his tracks. It simply shouldn't have been there. As his brain finally began to consider why, the whine of a warning klaxon filled the air, drowning out any thought.
Warning. Warning. Emergency incineration command has been acknowledged. Automatic incineration will take place in 9 minutes. Please evacuate the incinerator immediately.
Oh my, how exciting. You've run quite a show here, Zero.
A terrifying smile twisted Ace's face.
What's the matter? Too frightened to understand? Here, let me explain.
It's said that the incineration system is about to activate. In 9 minutes, this room will be engulfed in flame.
Who are you?
You don't recognize me? I'm hurt. It's me, Snake.
I love how sassy Snake is. It's just like, you don't recognize me. My feelings. My poor feelings.
Snake? Oh yes, you are alive. I'm afraid your bizarre style had me confused. I'm quite glad to see that you're alive.
Ace's voice didn't change. Snake ground his
I
teeth.
don't mind my asking. How did you get here? Snake, Junpei, 7. The 3 of you couldn't have opened a door with a 9. Did you use Clover's bracelet, perhaps?
What?
2 plus 5 plus 7 plus 4 equals 18, which makes 9.
Well, your reaction suggests that you did not.
Hold on. Why did you think we'd have Clover's bracelet?
Junpei felt his chest tighten.
Oh, they haven't told you?
Told me what?
Clearly not. Normally I would take some time and enjoy the moment. But I'm afraid my time is at a premium just now. I'll have to make this quick. Clover.
Don't do it, Ace! Keep your goddamn mouth shut!
Clover.
I said stop it! Don't listen to him, Snake.
Junpei could feel his voice getting hoarse, but Snake didn't listen to him.
What happened to Clover?
Ace looked at him. The corner of his mouth curled into the hook of a cruel smile.
Clover died.
The color left Snake's face. He shook his head weakly.
That's not true. That's impossible. It's a lie. It has to be a lie.
Oh, it's quite true. I can assure you of that. I killed her myself, you see.
What?
I'm sorry, did I stutter? I killed her.
Snake's face twisted into a mask of rage, mottled red rising to dot his pale skin. His entire body shook. He looked to Junpei disturbingly like a demon.
I would have rather she died with less suffering. A bullet in her brain, perhaps, would have been ideal. Unfortunately, that would have made quite a bit of noise. Circumstances being what they were, I was forced to settle for the knife. The one the ninth man had, you remember. I believe I caught her just below the shoulder blade. I was rather lucky, in fact. My first thrust went right between her ribs. Her flesh was so soft. My knife slid in so easily. There was no resistance.
Don't.
That feeling was... I confess, I feel rather excited. It is a powerful memory.
Don't. Stop saying it like that. I guess I don't need to zoom in for this one. Right? Like he sound very like not good.
Someday, perhaps. I hope I can feel it again.
Like just like Wolf from Into the Woods kind of vibes. I will just leave it at that.
Incineration will begin in 7 minutes.
I'm going to kill you.
Get him!
Snake's words were a guttural growl, barely audible.
What was that?
I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
Ah, so you're going to kill me. Please do. Come now. I'm waiting.
Don't do it! Don't listen to him, Snake!
Stop it, kid. He's screwing with your head.
Is there a problem? What are you waiting for, boy? Don't you want me to send you to join your sister?
Don't! The Snake!
Don't do it!
But Snake could no longer hear them. Snake could no longer hear anything.
Get him!
Snake moved like a bolt of lightning. His scream echoed through the incineration chamber, full of rage and despair.
Snake!
Another scream filled the room. It was Lotus. She ran across the room towards Junpei, her eyes wide with terror.
Lotus! Hurry! This way!
Snake's ill-fated attack had loosened Ace's grip on her, and she'd made a run for it. She reached Seven and Junpei and ducked behind them.
Incineration will begin in 5 minutes.
Give me the woman.
No. He raised
I
the
need
gun.
her. Without her bracelet, I will be unable to open this door.
1 plus 8 plus 9 equals 18, which equals 9.
Quickly now! I don't have time for your shenanigans.
In the center of the room, Snake's body lay eerily still. He looked like a human larva, prone and vulnerable on the floor.
I see.
Ow.
Then it would seem I have no choice. The rest of you must die as well. Fortunately, I have 5 bullets left.
Fortunately, this is not the true ending.
1 for Junpei, another for Lotus, and the last 3 for that lump of idiotic man you call 7. I will take Lotus's body with me and leave this room.
Incineration will begin in 4 minutes.
Well, it looks as though our time together is at an end. I rather enjoyed playing with you.
Damn it!
Junpei could see Ace's finger tighten. He could see it begin to squeeze down on the trigger. His body tensed, preparing for the catastrophic impact of hot lead against human flesh.
Goodbye.
Then it happened.
Kill you.
Snake stood up.
What? No, that's impossible.
Get him!
For the first time, Ace's composure broke. It was with obvious effort, Snake lunged forward, one step closer to Ace. Then another. He looked, for all the world, like a zombie.
I'll kill you. I'll kill you.
His voice was the mournful wailing of the undead.
Stay away from me. Get back. Stop. If you come any closer, I'll... Get away from me.
Little by little, Ace was retreating. Snake didn't stop. He continued his stiff, inexorable approach, his eyes twin pools of pure fury.
Listen to me. I said don't come any closer.
Get him! Bite his lymph node!
Shit! You bastard!
Ace's revolver leapt 5 times. 5 times, the air in the incinerator was split by the crack of a bullet. Snake's body twitched as 5 clouds of blood and torn flesh leapt into the air across his body. A fine pink mist drifted from his body and disappeared. Junpei didn't have time to ponder what that meant before. And then his strength was gone. His legs crumpled and his broken and battered body slid to the floor.
Incineration will begin in 3 minutes.
Finally.
We just need a few more minutes, Snake. But Snake wasn't done.
I'll kill you.
Even as the pool of blood beneath him grew, he began to move. He half crawled, half slid towards Ace. One bloody arm wrapped itself around Ace's leg.
You won't. Get away.
And the other gripped his thigh with strength that could have been long gone.
You son of a bitch! You're a monster! Get off me! Let me go, damn you!
He kicked at Snake with his free leg, driving his foot into Snake's face, his arm, his shoulder. It made no difference. Snake refused to release him. Once a snake was ensnared its prey, rarely does it release it.
This is it, Ace. We're going to burn to death together.
What?
Incineration will begin in 2 minutes.
Yeah, damn it! Damn you! Get off! Let me go, you monster! Okay, look. Think about it this way. My company owns a wonderful hospital. It has excellent doctors. You're not wounded too seriously. I'm sure they can fix you up easily. You don't have to die. You could be saved. Just let me go.
You messed up, Ace.
Pathetic. Begging for your life.
Absolutely pathetic. Snake, you should have aimed for that. Right? Then Seven and Lotus began to speak. Junpei could hear tears in their voices, and their words were strained.
Snake, that's enough! You can stop now!
Yes! He's right, Snake! You've done enough!
Come on, Snake, let's go! Let's get out of here!
You have to come with us! We have to leave together!
It's a noble man's sacrifice. Snake turned towards them. He coughed, his blood splattered across the floor. Then he smiled a sort of sad smile.
I apologize, but I'm afraid I can't do that. You'd best forget about me. You need to leave soon. I'm going to take him with me.
Shut up! Be quiet!
I couldn't save Clover. My sister died because of me. Perhaps this will begin to atone for that. Perhaps in the afterlife, she can forgive me. Now go. Go now. You have to go.
Incineration will begin in 1 minute.
God damn it! Shit! We're out of time! We gotta go!
Seven ran towards the exit. Lotus followed him, but Junpei couldn't move. There were white lines down Snake's cheeks where his tears had washed the blood away. He was broken, body and soul, and Junpei felt as though half of his own heart had been torn out. His eyes stung, and he tried desperately to swallow to clear the lump in his throat.
Junpei, what are you doing? You have to get out of here now!
Junpei's chest tightened, pulled taut by anger, misery, and a cold feeling of emptiness. Pure emotion surged through his heart, alongside the torrent of blood. He could feel it building, a tremendous wave growing taller and taller and taller. And then it broke, crashing down with thunderous force onto his shaken, unprepared mind.
Snake! Snake!
Junpei's rational mind was gone. He was driven by instinct now, and he launched himself across the floor at Snake and Ace. Or he tried to.
Wait! Don't be an idiot, Junpei!
He felt a hand grab him from behind. It was Seven. Before he had time to react, the larger man had pinned Junpei's arms to his side and was hauling him bodily back towards the door.
No! No! I have to help Snake! 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 Get off of me! Let me go!
Incineration will begin in 10 seconds.
Man, I've said this a few times, but Junpei's voice actor is just chef's kiss sometimes. There's a few lines where it's like, they could have done a retake, but like there's so many where it's just like, they got a good man's for this.
Seven, 6.
Damn it, I don't get a choice, kid! Don't blame me for this, alright?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Gates 2 and 3 are locked down, beginning incineration.
Junpei felt Seven's fist bury itself deep in his stomach, and then his legs turned to mush. Seven scooped him up in the same motion and leapt through the door. It slammed shut behind them. Junpei struggled to shaky feet. He glanced over to see Lotus only a short distance away. Junpei ran to the door. There was a small window cut into it. Inside, he could see Ace and Snake.
Jared! Damn you all! Why? Why? Why me? I don't deserve this!
You killed people!
Answer me! Answer me, Zero! Why? Why? Zero! Zero! Zero!
He didn't know how much time had passed. He didn't know how long he stood there in front of the incinerator. He looked to the side. Lotus's face was ashen, and if not for the hand she'd put against the wall, Junpei didn't think she could have stood. Seven looked old and tired and used. His eyes stared at the floor, seeing nothing. Junpei said nothing. He simply began to walk towards the open door and the hallway they'd come down earlier.
Hey, wait! Junpei!
Junpei, where are you going?
I'm going to get an Ace-flavored marshmallow. Don't think you can get away with murder without getting murdered, right? He blinked when their voices broke the silence. He stopped.
You stay here. I'll go get Santa and June.
You're gonna bring them here?
How?
Don't worry about that. Just stay here and wait, all right?
He began to walk again. He looked over his shoulder and watched Seven and Lotus grow smaller and smaller. They stared back, not moving. He wasn't sure if they could. He turned around again. He knew where he was going.
I saw an elevator on the way here. If I can get it to work, then maybe...
Before long, Junpei found himself in front of the elevator. Next to the door was a button with a triangle on it.
Please work.
He pushed it, and the door opened.
Yes.
Man, this ending is going a little bit longer than I thought.
Junpei was in the large hospital room.
June! Santa!
He kept calling and walked to the center of the room. But try as he might, he couldn't find them.
Damn it. Where did they go?
Increasingly frustrated and increasingly worried, Junpei left the large hospital room. He had no choice. He would have to look for them. Junpei's heart was heavy. He couldn't shake the feeling, but there was a part of him that felt it would be wrong to, even if he could. With every step he took, his legs felt more and more like lead. He's gonna run out of time. Sometime later, Junpei found himself at the chapel. He stepped inside, expecting to find nothing, but there, on the red carpet in the center of the room... June! No, codenames didn't matter any longer. She was Connie. Junpei cried her name and ran. Like lightning, he ran across the room towards her.
Connie!
He stumbled to a stop. As he looked down at her body, lying so still on the floor, he felt the icy grip of fear upon his heart. She was so very still.
No. It can't be. It's impossible.
Slowly, Junpei bent down towards her. His hand shook, and he felt very cold and very hot at the same time. He forced himself to look. Her back. Her back was moving. Slowly, it rose and fell. Relief washed over him.
Connie!
Junpei reached down and gently, very gently, lifted her up.
Connie, are you all right?
Jumpy?
Her face was pale and her lips dry and cracked. Her eyes were blank and cloudy. They stared straight at Junpei, but saw nothing. Trembling, Junpei wrapped his arm around her back. She was cold, very cold. Junpei tried to convince himself that it was only his imagination, but she felt as though she were fading away. He could feel his heart pounding frantically in his chest.
Connie, what the hell happened to you? You feel...
Jumpy, I'm sorry.
Her voice was very faint.
I might not make it.
No way. I am going to let you die. I am going to save you, I promise.
Thank you, Jumpy. Thank you so much for everything. I was really happy to see you again, Jumpy. Really happy.
Oh, don't give me that I was crap. You're gonna see me again lots more times. You just gotta hang on. All right, Connie?
Jumpy, did you know you meant a lot to me when we were kids? I liked you for a long time, Junpei. A really long time.
Junpei's vision had gone blurry. It took him a moment to realize his eyes were filled with tears. He could feel a piercing point of heat deep in his heart, like a white-hot flame. He looked down at Akane. There was a crack of static from above his head, and a voice spoke.
Zero. You son of a bitch! Where are you hiding?
Junpei frantically scanned the ceiling for the source of the voice.
What the hell are you talking about?
No. No, it hasn't. I'm not gonna let it end yet. I'm gonna get out of here with Connie. You can't. That is impossible. Why? Because you chose the wrong path. The wrong path? That is correct. Your path is inevitable, however. Admit defeat.
I mean, I didn't choose the wrong path. I just had to do this path before I did the right path.
Where there is shadow, there is light. Where there is the absence of light, there is no shadow. So it goes. What are you talking about? That is not. The loser has been decided. I told you! I am not gonna lose! No, you misunderstand. You have lost. I have lost. What?
Junpei didn't have time to ponder what that meant before. He heard the door slam shut behind him. He spun around. There was no one there. Was it Zero?
Connie, wait here. I'll be right back, I promise.
She managed a single nod. Junpei laid her back down gently and leapt for the door. He yanked it open and shot outside. No one. The hall was empty. There was nothing moving anywhere.
Where are you? It doesn't matter. I need to get Connie out first.
He didn't want to leave Connie alone any longer than he had to, so Junpei turned around and headed back to the chapel.
Connie?
She wasn't there. She wasn't anywhere. She'd been lying there on the floor just moments before, and now she was gone.
Oh God. No. No. Where is she? Connie. Connie! Connie! Connie!
His cry split the heavens themselves. He screamed until his voice gave out. Then he screamed some more. But there was nothing. No answer. His voice faded away, and all that remained was cold, unfeeling silence. That was when he noticed it.
Huh?
A strange smell, one he'd smelled before.
What? This is... white smoke.
9 seconds later, Junpei's mind winked out.
So yeah, we got a ending. Now I think we could probably skip the credits. The end. Or is it? Okay. So seek a way out.
Seek a door that carries a 9. I think this is the same one that was showing the other route. I don't know. I'll have it go. Now it is time. Let our game begin.
So yeah, now we get to save.
And so I think all we have left is one little mini ending and then the true ending. Yeah. Sorry, I was confused. I was like, where did this come from? But no.
So yeah. So now we get to go over here and we get to see who we get to read. So we have just a little bit left. Give me a second. This is probably gonna say words at me. Okay, I got it. So let's see. Ooh, Amma is streaming. Cause yeah, it looks like Peach isn't started yet. You wanna raid someone Luna the Gamer Cat? Oh, I will look into them. But I'm excited to raid Amma because we haven't yet for a while. But I will keep that in mind. Maybe we can raid them next time. So there is that. Incinerator.
Is that how you spell incinerator? Incinerator. Okay. almost misspelled it. Incinerator. Then let's see which emote. We'll do the heart. Because I feel like that's a fun pun.
But yes, thank you everybody for joining me. We will be able to play, we'll be doing the ending for 999 sometime next week. I don't remember what day, but I will say on my Twitch whenever I figure out my schedule. And yes, if Alma ends stream by the time Peach is streaming, I'm gonna host. I'm gonna host Peach. But yes, we are gonna say hi to Alma. It looks like she's doing like a Pokemon tier list from the looks of it. Let me take a peek while the counter is almost done. Oh gosh, there's an ad. Oh my gosh, okay, let me go back because the raid will skip the ad. But I will see everybody next week. Bye bye.